So dance for me, Coon.
You're a fake lawyer.
Dance for me, my
you
little.
have to make up a
dance
backstory.
for me, my little. You're like my little crow from freaking Dumbo. Dance for me.
Your real life is so miserable.
My real life is sitting here and making money while I can sit at home. I can sit at home and make money just reading documents. You have to sit here and entertain me, Coon. Keep entertaining me.
Nobody thinks, Imperious, that lie isn't flying.
I know, but there's
Nobody
no lie in
believes
knowing that you're a felon and you can't get a real job. There's no lie in that you're a felon and you can't get a real job.
You're not a lawyer.
I could be anything, even though I am an attorney. I could be anything.
Hey, quick question: Did Ben leave?
You're not anything.
I'm nothing. I'm a 500-pound moon man. I'm living on the moon. I'm living on the moon, Flo, but we know for a fact you're a felon and you helped your wife who has tracks in her arm.
It was just a costume for while he was on.
Why don't you shoot your?
Why are we pushing TOS? Let's not do that. Let's not do that. Can we get back to having a decent conversation, please?
No, Imperious will do that.
Glenn, I pushed go live because I mean, why not? Just FYI.
But I am getting out of here because, like I said earlier, I do
run. Go back to jail.
Cheers, Flo.
You're so gay.
He's not going back to jail. He's a civilized citizen. He's been reformed.
I'm actually not going to go anywhere for a second just to piss him off.
No, stay here. I get to yell at you more. Entertain me more, Flo.
Can you?
Either way, I win. You're just my entertainment for the hour. Keep going.
You know what? Here's the question. Here's the question. Hold on. Here's a question from Bjorn. He asked, out of curiosity, did Obama get permission to bomb 3 countries over 500 times? And on the upside, Trump didn't kill any Americans like Obama did.
That's a fair question. But before anybody answers, I just want to say I'm gonna head out of here. Glenn, thank you so much for having me, bro. It's good times. Okay, I'm EOD696 on YouTube. Come help me out. I need subscribers. We're still getting to 1,000, so help me get to 1,000, please. If you haven't subscribed, come subscribe. Okay, thank you.
Take it easy, EOD. We got to have you chat over here again.
Put your link in.
Again, when there's like less chaos.
I hear you, dude. I'll be back for sure. It's good talking to you.
Good talking to you too. Have a good one.
Still working on it.
All right, later on.
All right,
Zoomy nerd.
Billy, I already told you what you got to do to come back on. You keep on wanting to chop him in the back, and you don't want to listen and play the rules. So you got to pay to play. You have reached the point of pay to play. So until you send that super, you're not getting on the screen.
I think I've talked to Flow State about this a few times. I'm 100% in favor of convicted felons getting pew rights back after X time, or like some kind of process to reinstate that.
I'm in favor of the. I'm in favor of the.
Consider the natural right, and yeah, if you do something that drastic that it requires like the community to just say, nah, you're not part of us anymore, then I mean there should be a route back.
No, the pew rights was that any felon back in the day was hung. That's why they did. That's the reason.
You can come try to hang me, fat boy.
I
seen that. I see. What was
felonies were hanging? So that's why felons don't get their gun.
Don't put that on the screen. Who's doing that right now? Don't put that on the screen.
What is that?
Nick,
a thermonuclear weapon.
We're not going to say what that is. Don't put it on the screen.
Yeah.
Let's change. Can you change
material. That? YouTube will get all mad about that.
Yeah. Can we change that? Thank you.
That's going to be. Do not do that. That's. Dude, like
even though
I can say some things that make people mad.
Don't do it.
I'm 100%. Do not get anybody's channel clapped ever. I'm very angry about. Do not get anybody's channel clapped. If you do something that's actually tossed on that platform, you're going to get somebody's channel clapped.
I've used that avatar for years.
I mean, if they don't show that they care. I mean, if they show that they don't care about breaking TOS, then you shouldn't care. It's just
hold on,
Mel, I'm live now.
That was not my intention. I've used that avatar before, but
I wouldn't even. No,
if you don't want
even
it,
if I wasn't live, that's not something you want to put on there. And I'm not going to describe what it was exactly either, because that will give it.
Let's just not do it. Who knows? Whatever. It doesn't matter.
We got to move on. No
this conversation.
We got to move on. Don't talk about that. Let's move on. The next thing.
We were talking about it before, though.
No, we can talk about
we were talking about how depressing it must be to have to invent an entire personality and life for yourself because you're nothing.
Oh, like you as an online entertainer?
Cam up.
Why? I have you in the palm of my hand right now. Why? I do everything. I only do things that advance me. I do what advances me. See, that's the difference, Flo. You have to do shit because you can't go get a job. You have to do things that make everybody else happy. You live off the good graces of others.
$1,500 last stream.
You make your living off the good graces of others. That's all you do. So, you make your good graces off the change of others. No different than a bum sitting off a freeway offering.
That is correct. I get money from people who support what I do. You, however,
exactly.
don't have any
and
support
I do too, from a giant business, from a multinational business.
You're not a lawyer. You've been caught.
I'm not Flo. I already told you I'm 500 pounds on the moon, but we know you're a felon.
Yes, I'm a felon, and I'm still better than you.
Anything you say
I'm better than you
mean anything because you have no legitimacy. A felon, like I just said, in 1790, you would have been hung. You would have been hung as a felon. You wouldn't get your gun rights back because you wouldn't be alive.
Any measurable
hey guys, thank you for having me up. You guys aren't talking about anything anymore.
That we can quantify, and I'm better than you at it.
All right, you can't quantify anything because you make shows about me, and yet you're obsessed with me. You make multiple shows about me.
Hold on,
How many shows have you made about me? How many shows?
Hold on, Imperious. Hold on.
How many shows? No, four.
Imperious, hold on. Let me. This is, my show. Well, let me say this. And Imperious, you being a lawyer, you know this, that everyone, even though they're convicted or not convicted, has done something to land them in prison. All of us have committed
allegedly
some crime that we could be in prison for. The only difference is some people have got caught and other people haven't. Right? There's so many laws on the books that most people don't even know all the laws.
Most people could be indicted for something. Conviction is up to a jury. The jury is the fact finder.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
It's still a possibility either way.
No, it's 100% not.
Now you're
going to accuse of something that's
not the fact finder. Interesting.
No, if you get accused of something really bad and you get offered a plea deal, that's something like, hey, I got to deal with this and really money, but I don't want to risk it.
Now you're talking about nonsense. Who is the fact finder in the judicial process?
Okay, talk to me about DWI.
What I'm saying is that there's enough laws on the books, and not everybody knows all the laws.
Yeah, a law on the book doesn't mean you're convicted.
They could actually end up thinking done something that could actually land them in prison.
Yeah, I mean, you could. There's all kinds of things. In California, if you kill a horse without taking it to a vet, you can serve 20 years. Like that.
If you carry dikes, I mean, as in diagonal cutters in Texas, are you going to
be indicted on it? That's the issue. Like
if you carry diagonal cutters, if you carry wire cutters essentially in Texas,
being indicted and being convicted of something is completely different. So yeah,
that's why
people do everything all day that they can be
I'm not
indicted
embarrassed about it. He's barking up a tree that goes nowhere, so it doesn't need to be
barking up a tree that there's a distinct difference between someone being indicted and someone being guilty.
I'm a felon, but
you've been found guilty.
You're completely contrived.
You've been adjudicated as guilty.
You're nothing.
I'm so much something that you make shows about.
You're nothing.
You're still here.
You're hidden behind
an avatar. You're still here to interact with me.
You're hidden behind an avatar.
Did you take a plea deal?
You're still here to interact with me. I am your life. I am your life, Flo. You make shows about me and you're here to interact with me now.
You had a psychological break and you live in a fantasy land because you can't handle what a loser.
That's like a psychological break that crackheads
you can't handle what a loser you are.
Like psychological break like crackheads like you have, right?
Hearing you talk about how kids become gay through SA.
Yeah, it's called traumatic childhood events.
You started to make a lot more sense.
Sir, the reason
you had an uncle that
just think of all the kids you sold the drugs to and how that probably led to them being gay.
Do you know that's
all I'm trying to say, Flo.
Do you know that that's defamation per se?
No, it's not, sir. You were a no, it's
actually,
not. No, it's not because it's plausible that you sold drugs that led into kids.
Nope, that is defamation per se.
No, sir.
Literally per se too.
Plausible. It's plausible that you selling drugs leads into the hands of children. De facto. In the statute, it talks about harm to children.
You fake lawyer.
De facto, the statute that you were charged with.
Do you want to test
the legislative intent?
No, you don't want to test it. You're a hidey-ass bitch.
It is to protect children in the legislative intent. You should
read your laws. Nobody protected you when you were a child.
Maybe you wouldn't get convicted of so many of them.
Who was it, Imperious, that fucked you?
I don't know. A lot of people have tried to fuck me. That's why you're gay. You're so obsessed with me. You want to find me and try to fuck me.
Nobody since you were a little kid.
That's why you're obsessed with me. You're still here. You said you were leaving 10 minutes ago, but you can't get enough of me, you fucking queer.
I don't have anything to do.
Now go home and
go
back and make a show about me and make the amount of money that I make every night pissing in a toilet. Shut your fucking mouth and get off my show.
We know that you don't make any money. We know that you're not a lawyer.
I make more money in an hour than you make in a year.
You don't make any money. Demonstrate.
I make more money in an hour than you make in a year.
Demonstrate it.
Huh?
Here.
What? Demonstrate what? How many thousands?
How many
thousands of dollars I've given him.
I've got
why don't you ask Andrew how many thousands of dollars I gave to him too?
No, he doesn't want to deal with you either. I've got my 100-ounce silver bar sitting right here.
Don't ask him about how much they gave him. No, don't ask him. But
he's not here now. He's not here.
Exactly, and the only thing that's here is a felon. You're here, a felon that has no opinion on anything.
And a fake person. You're
just like a rapist, you're no different than a rapist or a child molester. You're a felon.
We're going to compare things. We're going to compare.
Yes, we're going to compare. You're a felon.
My claim is that I am better than you in every measurable
my claim
way.
is that you're a felon, and because you're a felon, you have no opinion.
You have
no opinion on anything because everything you say is meaninless.
You wanted to bring up money.
You have zero accountability. You have zero.
I happen to have $3,500 worth of silver right here. Do you have anything in arm's reach you can show?
I have one gun that I could show that's $3,500.
No, you don't.
I showed. Yes. I could show you my tangent. I could show you my tangent data scope that's 6,500.
Send me a picture of it through Discord, and make sure to get your hand in it because I've got a picture of
Discord because you were mad at the mean words I was saying to you and your wife.
No, I told you that.
Yeah, you did. So stop.
I didn't block you
because I'm mad that you called my wife a heroin addict because she had cracks in her arms.
Calm your anxiety so that we can have a conversation.
No. I don't need to call any. You're a subhuman rat, dude. I don't need to address you as a human. You're a felon. Sir, in the days of the formation of this nation, you would have been dead already. You would have been hung.
Why are you scared of talking?
There's no pew rights because you would have been hung as a felon.
There was
misdemeanors and death. That was all there was in the beginning.
We don't live back then.
You don't get anything.
We don't live back then, and we don't live in your fantasy.
Exactly. You're glad they don't because you wouldn't be able to sell drugs to kids and fuck little kids. So
again, that's defamation per se.
No, it's not, Flo. No, it's not, Flo, because you've been involved in discussions about pedophilia.
Literally in defamation per se.
No. So, Flo, you have to number one. Flo, you're a public figure. You have to prove malice per se. You have to prove you're a public figure. You got to prove malice per se.
You don't have to prove malice.
Yes, you do. You have to prove malice per se. You're a public figure.
That's what per se means.
Read, sir. You need to read
per
Sullivan.
Se means
you need to read Sullivan.
You
need to read Sullivan and read what a public figure is, you moron.
You are
a public figure, you moron. You've lost that right.
The public figure does not change.
Yes, it does, you moron.
No,
why don't you read what the public figure exception is?
Why is your voice
changing? You are an abject moron.
I'm curious because right there,
can you stop just ad-homing, calling him a moron? If you have a point to make the point.
Function. You still can't run around accusing people of crime.
Actually, a public figure. If I don't know malice per se, if I don't know for sure it's false,
malice
I can say anything I want about you. Why don't you read about the public figure exception, moron?
All right, I'll pull it up right now.
Read what it says, please. Read the public figure exception.
What up, Bumpkin?
What up, man? How's it going?
Yeah.
yeah. That's usually how it's going.
A false statement that is considered defamation per se, 4 categories, saying that someone committed a crime or immoral conduct.
What is public figure exception? I thought you were going to look that up.
Well, I'm not there yet. If you've got
that's why you don't even know how to search for a statute or its sub-statutes. You're a moron.
I'm having trouble finding a made-up law. Could you provide a link? I'm not accepting homework assignments, but
exactly because you failed at school. That's why you became a drug dealer and failed at life.
I have a degree. You don't have a degree.
I have many degrees.
You have no degree.
Why are we talking about degrees now?
I have a JD and I have a BA. Which one do you like?
You don't. Give me one. Give me the BA.
Give me BA. Look up the public figure exception.
Choose one.
Look up the public figure exception.
Because you've tried to give off fake documents before to people. Because you don't have shit.
I'm again asking you to look at. Again, you're making up shit. That's why CT said, "Oh, he showed me, and it is real." That's why Gimpy on his show said, "Oh, it is real."
CT literally
called Moxie said her husband said it's real.
Literally called you out.
That's why Moxie's husband, who's an attorney, said it is real. He is one. Yeah, that's right. Exactly. Keep going, Flo. Keep digging yourself digging. Keep digging it, Flo. Look at the public figure exception.
I would like for him to read the statute, please.
Read the public figure exception.
I don't see a public figure exception on this page, so I'm looking for it. But if you don't want to help find it, since you know about it, Your voices get shakier.
I'll wait
and higher.
for you since you're the attorney to know how to find it. Go ahead.
You know what? I'm not accepting homework assignments.
Exactly. You're my bitch. Shut up. Go find it and then come back to me, bitch.
I'm not finding it. You
exactly.
find
Then you don't know what you're talking about. I mean, the chat.
Prove
look
yourself
up public
right.
figure exception
You know
for
what
defamation.
I will find the link to that video where you get caught
figure exception for
being
defamation. Chat. There you go. That's all you need. That's how stupid he is. He doesn't even know how to look up public figure exception to defamation.
I'm just not doing your work for you.
Exactly. You've already done it. You've played into my hands, bitch. That you proved that you're too stupid to look up a statute that you're referring to.
You're getting mad because you are trying to look it up and you can't find it because it's not there. That was not a believable laugh, sir.
Oh, it's so believable. You listen to all my chats and all my streams. You follow me like a wet dog.
No, it's not there. You're looking for it right now and you can't find it. That's why you're freaking out.
I've already found it.
Then drop the link.
It's in, sir, it's in the Sullivan case.
Drop the link.
It's very easy to stat.
You dropped the link to it. I got something else to find.
No, you guys don't know because you got ran up like a bitch. You don't even know the thing you're referencing.
Again, that laugh is just not. I'm not buying it.
Oh, it's so. I know you just hate it because it's going to be in your mind for the rest of
your life.
Here we
go.
It's going to be in your mind for the rest of your life, bitch.
I'm going to put in the front and back chat.
It'll be what your wife hears tonight when you're and she's imagining me pound into
her. Where you get caught faking being a lawyer because you're a loser and a nobody.
Oh, I've been caught it so much, but you can't prove it.
I'm proving it. I'm dropping the link to the proof right now. Well, in my chat and in the back chat at least.
Yeah, so proof. Go ahead. Now read the public figure exception.
No, that's your point to prove. You were finding that, right?
It's on the screen, moron.
Okay, there.
He's still so stupid. The crackhead heroin addict is so worked up.
All right, I'm reading this.
Defamation.
I'm reading this.
Public figure.
All right.
Are you reading it or am I?
Oh, you can read it. It's fine if you can read it.
In general, defamation in general is designed to provide individuals with a remedy for false statements. The level of fault that you have to prove against the speaker of the defamatory statement varies depending on the status. However, difference in burden of proof between these levels of plaintiff is an incredibly nuanced distinction of defamation law and can also apply to other claims beyond defamation. In this article, the defamation team describes distinctions between defamation claims for public and private figures and how to understand the burden of proof required for each. So there's the 4 types of defamation claims, I believe. All right. Who is a public? What's the paragraph above this one? Okay, those are the elements. Now, who is a public figure? When dealing with speech-related claims, specifically defamation, a public figure is generally defined as a person who has assumed a role of specific prominence or thrust themselves in the public eye. While there is no set list of jobs or professions that would qualify as a public figure, generally speaking, politicians, celebrities, and other professions that place someone in public eye are considered public figures. A private figure is the opposite, someone who has not sought out the spotlight or public attention. In addition to this definition, courts also recognize limited purpose public figures. A limited purpose public figure is defined as someone who interjects or participates in a public controversy or topic to the point where they are or are trying to influence the outcome of the controversy. Generally speaking, limited purpose public figure is someone who has become a prominent figure in a particular topic or area. While the person might not be a celebrity, they are well known within the community or the topic. Can we scroll down? Like, where's the point where it says how the law interacts with this differently? Keep going.
The way it's
the distinction between a public figure or even a limited purpose public figure versus a private figure is crucial in defamation law as it governs how a plaintiff can prove 2 critical elements of their defamation claim. Okay. This doesn't apply because defamation per se means you get to skip that part.
No, you moron. You're so stupid. This is what I'm trying to say. This is why you are an abject failure. You are an abject failure.
Per se
can only apply to a private figure. You are a moron.
Find that. Where it does not say that anywhere.
What is the difference? What is actual malice?
Where does it say that?
Because again, I'm waiting. It's still down, longer. You have so much more to read, you moron, and yet you read halfway.
Can you make a point instead of calling them names?
Okay, hold on. Stop right there. A public figure must prove that a defendant acted with actual malice.
Actual. Now, what is actual malice?
That wouldn't be too hard, would it?
No. What is actual? What is the legal standard for actual malice? Go ahead.
Look it back up. Stop. Actual malice means the person either knew the statement was false or showed such reckless disregard for the truth that they should have known the statement was false.
I don't know the statement is false, sir.
That's why
you can say shit about celebrities.
Right now, you're taunting me.
No, sir. What do I know? Because you're telling me it's false? You're shit about what you tell me.
The fact that you're taunting
I don't give a shit about what you tell me.
Right now.
No, sir. You're a public figure.
Your claim.
You're a public figure, and you can't prove actual malice.
If I qualify as a public figure, which I'm not big enough to probably
you can't. You're a public figure, and you can't prove actual malice.
Wait, is that Imperious?
That's Imperious.
Your streamer being a quote public figure is entirely debatable, and you probably lose it whatever side you're on.
Realm. And his business is talking about public events. He's on a public platform, and he wants public interaction. Shut the fuck up.
You're sitting here bragging about
how you're sitting here talking to me when you said an hour ago you wanted to leave. You're still my dog. You're still my dog sitting here talking to me, waiting for me to leave. You're still here. You're still here. Why are you here then? I thought you were going to leave.
Because I'm beating you at law.
You're not beating me at anything. You can't prove actual malice. Prove it.
I have all the.
Prove that I know it's false other than you just saying it's false.
You have
prove that I know it's false.
You perfectly.
Although I have to say this is a way better conversation than whatever Ben was doing.
You have to prove actual malice. Now look up the standards for actual malice. Why don't you
just read it to you?
What actual malice is?
To you.
No. Look up case law for what actual malice is.
We're not going through case law.
Exactly, because you don't know anything. You didn't even know what actual malice was.
I know that you stepped in your own trap.
Malice and
all right, let's read public, or what's defamation per se.
An integral component of any defamation claim, whether slander or libel, is pleading and proving that the false or defamatory statement has caused harm. The plaintiff's burden of establishing the existence of damage or harm depends upon the nature of the false statement and specifically whether the statement will be considered defamation per se or defamation per quad. In this article, all right, so go down. Understanding defamation per se. The defining defamation per se.
I can read it if you want.
Okay, go ahead.
Would you like for starting at understanding defamation per se? You want that?
Yeah.
Understanding defamation per se. Before defining defamation per se, it's important to understand the elements of a defamation claim. To establish a claim for defamation, the plaintiff must generally plead and prove the following elements. 1, a false statement of fact. And this is based on what it's saying, it means all of these.
You don't understand what a false statement of fact is.
I'm adding things, but hang on. So 1, scroll down a little bit too. 1, a false statement of fact. 2, about the plaintiff. 3, that it's published without privilege by a third party. 4, with fault or, in the case of private plaintiff, with, at minimum, negligence. 5, the false statement has caused harm. As noted, scroll up a little bit, the element of harm or damage is a critical component of any defamation claim. Being the subject of a false statement may well be frustrating, unpleasant, or embarrassing. However, unless you can establish a false statement resulting in legally cognizable harm, you will not be able to pursue a claim for defamation. Did you want to go more?
Yeah. Keep rolling. Okay. Hold on.
By means. The means by which defamation plaintiff can prove harm is where the concepts of defamation per se and defamation per quad come into play. When a statement is considered defamatory per se, there is a legal presumption that the false statement caused harm.
It means you have standing. You have damages.
Hey, shut the fuck up and let him read. Stop interrupting.
That the false statement caused harm to the reputation of the plaintiff, and thus the plaintiff will need not prove, quote, actual damages, unquote, to prevail. A plaintiff will need to be able to satisfy the fifth element of the defamation claim with no more than the statement itself. The legal presumption of harm relieves a defamation plaintiff of a significant burden, proving that one or more persons who read or heard the false statement believed it to be true, and that, as a result of the same, the plaintiff's reputation was damaged. Scroll up, please. So what makes a statement worthy of, not quite,
too far,
a little bit down. Little bit. So what makes a statement worthy of the per se designation? While ultimately what is considered defamation per se will depend on how the term is defined by the specific jurisdiction in which the case is filed, there are several categories of statements that are recognized in many jurisdictions as inherently harmful and thus defamatory per se. Scroll just a little bit. Statements that someone is guilty of a serious crime. Statements that someone was unchaste or engaged in sexual misconduct. Statements that someone had a loathsome or contagious disease. Statements that someone engaged in behavior that was incompatible with the proper conduct of his business, trade, or profession. Scroll up, please. These categories of statement are so commonly recognized as constitutional defamation per se because they are obviously harmful to the subject's reputation without the need for further explanation or additional facts. With this premise in mind, a number of jurisdictions like Ohio, do not limit defamation per se to a specific list of categories, but rather through a broader definitional concept. Thus, for example, in Ohio, any false statement will be considered defamation per se if it naturally exposes the subject of the statement to hatred, ridicule, contempt, or disgrace. Scroll up a little bit, please.
What's my dick taste like, Imperious?
We just had a very simple case on this with Sarah Palin.
What's my dick taste
very
like?
Simple, very simple. No, there's nothing you did. Nothing you stated there has any relevance to what I just said. You have the public figure standard of actual malice to prove that I know for a fact that I have documented evidence, and I have for a fact know that what I'm saying about you is false. You are a public figure.
Please.
So again, Glenn, you're afraid of me again. You're afraid of me again, Ben. Bitch down like you did with Donovan Sharp. Bitch again like you did with Donovan Sharp.
Let Grump finish reading, please. Can't you just oblige?
Why? Why? You're obliged.
Because it's my channel. If you don't want to listen, you just get muted. I'm giving you the opportunity to speak. All I'm asking you is to listen when I'm saying something, and let Grump finish reading. That's simple.
He doesn't like the.
If you don't want to follow the rules, then you don't have to come up here and speak. That's simple.
There's no rules. New York Times versus Sullivan.
I said I have rules for mine. So let Grump finish reading, please. Go on, Grump.
Already? No, I can do it from here. It was better when it was bigger, but no, it's fine. Just trying to keep up. Whoever's driving it. Conversely, some jurisdictions define defamation per se even more narrowly than the four categories set forth and above. In Michigan, for example, only two specifically recognized categories of statements that are defamatory, I'm tripping words, per se, are statements that impute a character or criminal offense or lack of chastity. The limited definition is particularly important for businesses pursuing defamation claim in Michigan. While businesses, like an individual plaintiff, can generally avail themselves of the defamation per se doctrine in Michigan, which does not recognize false statements concerning the conduct incompatible with proper conduct of business, trade, or profession. As defamation per se, it will be nearly impossible for a business pursuing a defamation per se claim to take advantage of the benefits of the doctrine. Scroll up, please. In the light of the foregoing, it is crucial that defamation plaintiffs pay attention to the specific law that will be applied to their case. This is particularly true when defamation occurs on the internet, i.e., cases of, quote, internet defamation, unquote. Frequently, internet defamation cases will arise from false online statements made by one or more defendants in one or more different states against a plaintiff in an entirely different jurisdiction. Determining which state's substantive law will apply to the case is necessary to determine whether the statements at issue are defamation per se, and thus what must be pled and proved. Scroll up, please. If the false statement if the false statement at issue does not fall within the definition of defamation per se within the relevant jurisdiction, it would be considered defamation per quad. A statement is generally defamation per quad if it is harmful in nature. If its harmful nature can only be understood by the reference to and consideration of extrinsic facts to explain its defamatory meaning. Often, defamation per quad is referred to as defamation by the use of interpretation or innuendo.
I don't think we need to read this part, probably, because it didn't apply.
Unless of course, Glenn. Bend over and just let Flo tell you what to read.
Does this part apply, or do you just want filibustering?
I thought Glenn was telling everyone to just shut up and let him read.
Everybody read the whole thing.
I guess there's a double standard for queers and felons.
I just said Grump is going to read the whole thing. Continue, Grump.
Bitch, but I offered.
Continue, Grump.
If you could scroll up to making. Right there. Wait, Glenn, are you driving this? Just so I know.
Yeah, I'm driving.
Okay. Making the distinction between the two types of defamatory statements can involve a nuanced analysis, especially where jurisdiction defines defamation per se by reference to a concept rather than a specifically delineated set of categories. However, to provide a straightforward illustration of the per se versus per quad distinction, reference to an example provided by one of Ohio's intermediate appellate court is instructive. Up a little bit, please. It would be excuse me. A little water. Just a moment. It would be defamatory per se to say Sue, Tom's wife had sexual relationship with Bob, as the statement on its face causes shame and disgrace to Sue. However, the statement that Sue had a sexual relationship with Bob is not defamatory per se, but only defamatory per quad, because extrinsic evidence to or outside knowledge that Sue was married to Tom would be necessary to establish defamatory meaning. See Rodney A. Smalla, Law of Defamation, Section 722, blah, 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 ED 2003, Murray versus Knight Rider Incorporated. I know it didn't say that. That was an editorial fun. 7th District, Belmont, number 2, BE, a lot of things at the end of that. Thus, the omission of a few words in a false defamatory statement can be the deciding factor in how a particular defamation statement is categorized. This can make a world of difference in pursuing a claim. Scroll up, please. As referenced, when a statement is categorized as defamation per se, the plaintiff is typically relieved of the burden of pleading or proving the element of harm or damage. Simply establishing that a statement is defamatory per se will give rise to the presumption of harm that may enable the plaintiff to recover damages in the following categories. Scroll up. Normal damages. Normal damages are the trivial sum of money, often $1 USD, Federal Reserve notes, which are awarded to a plaintiff who has had their legal rights violated, but not demonstrated there was actual harm that should be compensated. 2. General damages, aka also known as non-economic damages. Compensation for past and future intangible harms, such as harm to reputation, emotional distress, and humiliation. Scroll up a little bit, please. Special damages, this is number 3, aka economic damages. compensation for actual financial or economic losses arising from the publication of the defamatory statement, such as loss of income because of plaintiff has had due to loss of job. Wait, I messed that up. Such as loss of income because the plaintiff has lost a job due to the defamatory statements, or the cost of claimant's medical bills for the medical health treatment associated with mental anguish arising from the impact of the defamatory statements. Punitive or exemplary damages. An award to the plaintiff that is intended to punish or deter the defendant from engaging in similar conduct in the future. Often, category of damages requires a heightened degree of fault or more extreme or outrageous conduct. Up a little bit, please. The award of nominal damages in defamation case per se is often, though not always, the minimum award to which a plaintiff would be entitled. However, a defamation plaintiff harmed by a statement that is defamatory per se will likely be able to secure one or more of the other categories of damages set forth above and secure a more meaningful recovery. Conversely, in cases involving defamation per quad, nominal damages are not available. Moreover, the plaintiff's claim will not be able to proceed without pleading and ultimately providing existence of actual harm. Often the proof is actual harm. The proof of actual harm must come in the form of economic damage or loss, but may also be established through some concrete proof of reputational harm for a variety of reasons. This can be difficult. Scroll, please. In defamation per quad cases, punitive or exemplary damages may also be available, but unless actual harm is established, the plaintiff may never get to the point of having punitive damages assessed. It should be emphasized that just because the law imposes a more significant burden on plaintiffs pursuing a case sounding as defamation per quad does not mean the victim of such false statement should not avoid pursuing a case. Statements that are, quote, defamation per quad, unquote, can cause just as much, if not greater, harm than the statements that are defamatory per se when the appropriate context is provided. Yes, sophisticated defendants seeking to evade liability often avoid making false statements that are defamatory on their face. Rather, they make these false statements in a way that is specifically designed to harm their target, but relies on innuendo and insinuations, and therefore will be subject to the additional scrutiny as a legal matter. The hurdles relative to defamation per quad case can be easily overcome by securing appropriate legal counsel to demonstrate how, in fact, the false statements have caused legal and cognizable harm. Scroll, please. Generally, all defamation cases will be subject to a number of defenses, regardless of whether the claims are for defamation per se or defamation per quad. These defenses include absolute truth, statute of limitations, doctrine of opinions, or hyperbole.
Grump, I don't think we need to know about the defenses.
Oh, so what I'm talking about?
I'm just reading, dude. I'm just doing a dramatic reading of. I'm trying to make this entertaining.
Keep being a queer.
Well, no,
I'm trying to do a dramatic reading of a legal document, like a very dry legal document.
You were looking about what was the.
Yeah, this is what I read all day. I'm sorry you guys don't get paid enough to do it.
We were doing this to see what was going to require.
Yeah, exactly. You haven't even gone up to Sullivan versus New York yet. You haven't even talked about Garrison versus Louisiana. You haven't talked about anything yet.
I wasn't talking about anything. I was literally reading, doing
that's what I'm saying. Glenn, keep going,
argument.
Keep reading it. If you want to keep going down the legal hole and you think that a felon is going to tell you what the law states, let's keep going, because
I know a bunch of lawyers that lie about the law too all the time.
New York Times versus Sullivan.
I've been in court more than you have. I know the law better than you do.
Yeah, I mean, how many hundreds of times
people that lie about the law that are lawyers just as much? So
I understand the law better than you, which is why we just went through this.
Yes, you do. That's why you understand actual malice and how Garrison versus Sullivan says that someone attacking a public figure for the mere pleasure of trying to humiliate them can't recover damages.
Thing I don't understand.
You're a moron, dude. You are an actual moron, dude.
There's one thing
you
I need
actually believe. This is what I'm saying. You've been there and pled this stuff so often that you think you know how to argue a case.
I need your help understanding one thing, though.
Garrison versus Louisiana.
What does my dick taste like?
Garrison versus Louisiana. That's all you need.
What does my dick taste like? That's the only thing I need.
Well, you should ask your wife how many times I've been in her mouth.
I'm asking
you had her, jumping from felon to felon. I went there. I went. My buddy who used to be my frat with me picked her up down at a house at USC one time. I brought her to our frat house in Newport, and we all banged her. So I mean, you did have her hiding around. So I mean, she is kind of the tool for whoever wants to pay the drug dealer. That was
you lost again.
I've never lost.
Everywhere
you can't even explain. You haven't addressed public versus private figure.
The fact that you're saying you've never lost,
actual malice standard. Go ahead.
The fact you're saying you've never lost is you losing
I'm still waiting for actual malice.
Now, wouldn't you be considered a public figure in Paris, even though you don't have a channel?
No, because I have no business. I have no business. I've never showed my face. I have not. Number one. Number two. I have not advertised. Okay, public interaction. For example, I can go to Dodger games and raise signs all the time.
But
say whatever I want. It doesn't mean that I'm part of the Dodger organization.
Aren't you part of the public interaction now?
No, sir. Being a private figure and speaking in the public square doesn't make you a public figure.
But this is not the public
square. Yeah, it actually is. YouTube's the public sphere. Why don't you reach the Supreme Court precedent?
No, I'm just asking.
The internet is the new public square. You're a moron. This is what I'm had two Supreme Court cases on the internet.
I'm asking you a question.
Why don't instead of asking you listen and shut your mouth?
If you don't
why don't you listen and shut your mouth?
Well, how about you listen and shut your mouth? I'm asking a simple question.
Why is he getting so defensive?
Why? Because if he's saying that people are on YouTube are considered public figures, if you go on a panel, are you not making yourself a public figure? Is what I'm asking.
You are.
Seems like a reasonable question.
Yeah.
If A equals A, then in formal logic, yeah, that's not even assailable.
Yep. And a 60-year-old geriatric judge is gonna think that as well.
Actually, they're not.
Imperious. Hey, buddy. Why can't you not go on a single panel and not be a dickhead?
Because I think you people shouldn't be alive.
I think you people shouldn't be alive.
You accept the premise that you're a dickhead and that you shouldn't be on panel.
It's because he's so bitter that we're all better than him. Literally, everything about him is fake.
Like
was
negative.
Can you imagine being such a loser? You have to invent everything about yourself.
Yeah, -1,000 aura. -1,000 aura.
Was it better when I was just like reading the law thing? Because
no, honestly, I'm gonna be real with you. I'm
gonna get out of here. Like I said, I was. It is worth pointing out that neither of the articles said anything about a public figure exempting you from the defense.
Hold on, I wanted to play the link that you showed in the back private chat, so you could explain it a little bit better when I play it. What are we watching here?
Oh, what I showed. Oh,
yeah. Here we go.
Okay, yeah, no. This is from I don't know, a month or two ago when he got caught out making up being.
Imperious was on CT.
Let's see what.
That's where Imperious is from.
Imperious says,
yeah, I'll be watching from the chat.
Ignored because,
this is good though.
As great Christopher Hitchens says, that can be stated without evidence can be rejected without evidence.
Look at this freeze frame. Dude knows he's got Imperious.
Asserted without evidence can be denied without any.
Yeah, because Imperious doesn't. We don't even know what this man looks like. We know nothing about this man. He is literally on here just claiming
you don't have a Second Amendment,
but he has no actual evidence of anything that he does, any work that he's involved with.
CT, did I send you my bar card or no?
What he looks
well, that was a dumb, desperate move.
Like. There is no reason to believe.
CT, one question. CT, did I send you my bar card or no?
No. That was out evidence.
Hey, Fees, ask CT if I sent him my bar card.
I don't hear any logical arguments.
CT, shit. CT, did I send you my bar card?
So much.
Look at the camera and tell us he sent you the bar card.
I'm gonna need to see some identification. Really? Makes me feel young again.
He sent me what looks to be a bar card, but it was no name on it. There was no name on it, Superior. So.
No.
Well, there's no name on it.
Yeah, I'm not putting my last name.
Oh, it doesn't even have a first name. It just says McLovin.
What? One name? One name? Who are you, Seal?
I can actually download one from the internet and
You can
just send
download
it.
a physical bar card and laminate it with the numbers corresponding to your name. Really?
With no fucking name on it.
One fucking name on it.
I would love to
Did you
see
leave
do
the
it.
numbers? But did you leave the numbers on the card that you sent on the image
No,
that you
why
sent
would
to
I do
CT?
that?
Well, in
Why?
that case,
I
then
don't want
I
my
can
last name
download
brought up.
it and
No, you
pretend that
can't,
I've
sir.
got
You
one.
can't
Well, I smell a fake lawyer in the mix here.
download an actual card.
Because
No,
he
sir, you
can't
download
verify
a
that it
card
was
from the state of
yours.
Florida. You can't download a card from the state of Florida, sir. You can't download an actual
You're telling me
card like a credit card from
I
the state of
can't
Florida.
get an
No, sir,
image
you
of the
can't download a
barcode
credit card
of
from
the
like a
state
credit
of
card from the
Florida.
state of Florida.
So I
Sir, it
can't
has
actually
it has a
get an
bar,
image.
sir.
What are you
Sir, it has
stating
it
here?
has a SKU number. It has a
So are
SKU
you
bar on
so are you telling
No,
me that
sir,
you
you don't-
cannot
no, yo, sir, you
find the
can't, and if you-
image of the
Sir,
barcode
I know you think you're trying to
of the
catch
state of
something, but you
Florida?
can't. I know you can't download a card. No, you can't.
Are you actually saying that I cannot find the image of the barcode of the state of
cannot.
Florida?
No, sir, you can't. Because
Take
each
it from the
SKU number is
criminal,
different
you
and each
can get
bar number is
images of
different.
Cards real easy.
Each number is different. Each SKU number is different. Each QR number is different on there.
Shut up, Imperious.
You are stupid, Hafez. This is what I'm saying. Stay in England with your in England with your
let me hold on.
stay in England with your half
right.
attorney.
He's right, man. He's right. I can't get that at all. CT, would you mind sharing my screen for a second?
Hafez, I'm asking you a question. Can you please answer?
Bear with me.
Again, Hafiz, you can't.
What
You have a SKU at a card from the state of Florida? No, you can't, Flo. No, you can't. No, you can't, Hafiz. I know you think you can, but you can't.
I guess I can't, but hold on one second. Let me just see if this is what I think it is.
Go ahead.
Hafiz, can you please start using can't and can't? Can you just please? Because I don't know if you're saying can't or cunt.
And cunt.
What do you think? CT, is that a Florida bar card by any chance?
That is the Florida bar card.
I love that. Was the same thing I just pulled up right now. I just saw that right. I just Googled it, and that's what I got right now.
That's a watermark.
No, it's actually not. That's off. The bar. No,
Whoever made that meme,
the QR is in
bonus
the middle.
points.
The QR. The
Orlando
code is in the middle.
Shepherd.
That was on my first attempt. That was on my
Exactly.
first
So you
attempt.
picked a false image.
Painful.
Sir, the bar number
I don't
is
even
in
know
the
what this
center
thing
of
looks like.
2022 on.
I love
How about this one? How about this one?
2022 and on.
How about this
Look
one?
up a 20.
How about this one?
2022
I
bar
think
card.
everybody
and
should
forward.
just pile on
The
Imperious.
bar is in the middle.
Is that not it?
Something wrong? Patrick? You're sweating.
Is that
No, that's not. And that's the state of California. Is James also.
the state of
Those
Georgia.
are old, dude. Those are old.
So these are the
That's
old
difference.
ones.
Those are old.
So if I search the scour the internet, I cannot
So
find
you're
the
bringing up
20
pictures of
22
other
version.
people that have names on there? Is that what you're doing?
No, these are just a Google search of a. I just wrote bar card of the state of Florida.
I thought you said you can download and print.
How about this, Imperious? How about this? The way to win this argument is turn your camera on, make sure the name is not showing, and just show the bar card. That's all you got to do, buddy. You gonna do that?
Come on, little guy.
Again, you're never going to get my camera on. What is this talking about?
All right.
See, the funny thing that CT just said there is that's not enough for some people. Like I've like covered like I've been called out for like stolen valor a couple times, and just in the last month or so. Like I even just pull up my VA card. That's not enough. I got my DD-214, but I don't know what they want. It's never going to be enough. Anybody who calls you out, they got something that they're trying to work through. In this case, not necessarily that one. Imperious has some different shit going on.
I am just every single panel Imperious touches, he just refuses to go by TOS. If he does go by TOS, he has the most incapable personality to work with. It's wild. It's crazy.
Yeah, that was funny.
That was extremely funny. It makes me laugh every single time. I loved it.
You are mad over what you not wanting to follow the directions. I told you there's a simple way that you will get back on the panel, because you have proven to me tonight that you do not know how to follow directions whatsoever. So since you don't know how to follow directions whatsoever, and you still exhibit not following the directions after I told you how you could get back on the panel, I am not going to bring you back up. I know you're asking to, and I told you, okay, if you want to come back up, you have to do this thing, and that is to pay, because obviously every time I let you back up without costing you anything, you don't even want to listen. So now I'm making it cost you something to come back up. Now, if you don't want to cover what it's going to cost you to come back up, then I'm not going to let you back up.
Hey, Imperious.
If you paid $3, that's not what I told you that's owed.
Imperious, if you're kicked out of 1,000 panels on YouTube, do you think that maybe it might be your personality, or do you think it's everyone else's personality?
Well, he said he didn't want us living anymore. He doesn't want us alive. So that
I know, dude. I know.
I mean, it's almost it's like a death threat per se.
You talking about Imperious or Billy Wayne right now?
No, Imperious, that he wants us dead. You know?
Yeah, he said that right before you ended it, which
I asked him. Yeah, I was like, okay, well, that's the best I could do. $47 more, Billy. $47 more. I told you it was going to be 50 because of all the times I had to boot you tonight, and I let you back up. 47 more doll hairs. All right, 47.
That only buys you back into Glenn's panel this one time.
That is true.
Keep that in mind. It doesn't buy you back in anywhere else.
You know what? I'm with you, Tootie. Like, and it does sound like a threat. That's why well, Billy, that is rather gay of you to say. Now I can't let you come back up with that at all. That's some homoerotic shit there, buddy.
Wait, did he DM you something, or
no? He said he wants somebody to suck his penis 47 times on the open. I don't see that at all. I don't suck anything unless it's a nice plump.
I don't doubt he said it though, because dude's weird.
And
anyway, doesn't know how to do content. But it's fine.
Like,
we're all good here.
What's crazy is that I think by his own popularity, I would think Imperious would fall under Imperious would fall under a public figure, even though he doesn't have his picture out or his face out. We know who he is, and that would be a public figure by all the shows that he's gone on, all the panels that he's gone on. That would make him a public figure. Just because he doesn't have a channel, that doesn't mean he's not a public figure.
I think the argument could be made in court to agree with your sentiment, just based on how many people know who he is.
It'd be like if I didn't have a channel, everyone would know. Everyone knows who I am, so therefore I'm a public figure.
Wait, who? Wait, who is it?
This is Bumpkin.
Oh, hi, I'm Grumple. I don't know.
You know exactly who I am.
This is Darth Bumpkin.
Yeah, you know exactly who I am, Grumple. We've been on several streams.
I'm giving you an out for the legal purpose of the conversation right now, dude. Catch a clue.
I don't care. Send me to jail. Actually, don't. I work there.
Yeah, he does.
Come on.
But here's the other thing. Like, real quick, Billy, you wanted to duel me. You put that in the chat that you wanted to duel me to the death. Now, look.
If he wants to actually do it and set it up, I'll be your second.
First of all,
for real. Like, for real.
There's no duel to the death. Okay, not even in Texas. That's illegal.
No, there is.
No, there's not. I looked it up. Earlier. It's not. Doesn't hold. The last duel to the death was like in 1837 or 1838.
I kind of want to bring it back. So
You want to bring it back. You wanted to make it a thing, but it illegally, it's still illegal at the moment.
Well, I mean, to make the legal thing like current instead of like, oh, it was in 18, whatever the last time it happened. Well, I mean, let's make it more recent. I'm okay with that. And if y'all want to do it, let's do it in Texas. And Glenn, I'll be your second. I'll be your second on this one. For whatever method he went. Swords, I'm maybe not the best one. Pistols, I mean, I'm probably your best bet.
Yeah, I got a good shot too. I was a marksman.
I shot expert both hands first try.
Well, because you're.
But I was an instructor too. Just
yeah. But anyways, I think Imperius would fall under public figure just for as many panels he's gone on. I mean, okay, I'll just say this, Kitty. Nobody wants to duel me with an axe. I will fuck you up with an axe from a distance. I'm good. I'm that good with an axe.
But throwing an axe?
Oh yeah. Oh yes.
Like hatchets or splitting mauls or like all of the above?
All the above.
And with like accuracy.
With accuracy. Like I want
to do a content with you where we do.
Well, you know what? I was in Dallas yesterday, and you did not answer your calls. Actually, I didn't.
Did you? You didn't text me.
I know.
Wait, hang on.
He's looking to see if I have a.
I gotta work tonight.
You gotta work tonight?
Of course I do, yeah.
That's what's up.
And I picked up an extra shift as well for one of the nights that I'm off too. So.
Oh, what are you doing? You taking a day off, or are you making up a day that you took off?
No, I'm just getting that OT.
Get it? You know what? We had Mando OT. I never as soon as I got off Mando OT, I never did OT. I said, "Fuck that! I'm not pulling 16 hours."
Yeah. So see, here's the problem, right? They actually cut our hours, so
shit.
They made us. Yeah, they made us take a mandatory 8-hour shift instead of a 12-hour shift on one of our 12-hour days. And so because of that, I'm like, you know what? Nah, I like making money. So it's funny because everyone has these mandatory 8s, but every shift is always understaffed. It's crazy how that works.
I sent you a thing. I don't have you saved, so I'm not sure that you have it or that I have it. Here.
Let me. I'll check it in a minute. Here, let me. Here's. I guess it's me. Just like when I went to Portland, and every time I go out of state or out of town, I try to find an axe throwing place. Because I just do it for fun. It's like a thing that I do. It's my thing. Here, I'll share the screen. You guys can't see it. I can see it.
Oh, that makes it work for the content. Yeah. Oh. There we go. Who's a Zoomba Loompa?
That was like me back in December.
Hold on.
And I'm not an Oompa Loompa. I'm not that short.
Oh.
I mean, so there's like virtual screens throwing the axes at, and then somebody who's definitely not an Oompa Loompa based on the wall he's next to.
That's a headshot.
No, he's totally not an Oompa Loompa. Don't worry about that. Wait, is that Glenn? Oh, my bad. Oh, I didn't know that was Glenn. My bad.
I'm gonna get this move.
That's how Air Force dudes throw axes.
Ken. Watch. I'm gonna get it this time. Hey. Oh, back to back. You mean like this? I see.
There you go.
Oh.
All I do is throw axe.
And
all right, it's for fun.
You know, Thor's gonna be so mad at me. He gave me this oath bracelet, and I can't even get an axe in. Like I channel my inner Thor. Headshot.
Just you're invoking him, but
shit.
It would be rude to say anything about what he might say about that. I'm not going to say anything about it.
This was before he passed away.
Oh, so would it be not rude to
Chest? Think of an enemy. Think of an enemy. That's pretty easy.
Never mind. I'm not going to say anything. That's the more polite thing to do.
Really?
I think I end up putting my GoPro. Oh, here we go. This is when I put my GoPro on top. Almost hit my GoPro right there.
All right. Headshot.
You almost hit your GoPro right there.
I almost lost my GoPro right there.
Kicking the ass.
If you hit it with your own, if you hit your own GoPro, that would have bonus points.
Want to drop? Oh, yeah. All right, go flow.
Here we go. We're gonna get it now.
Thank you, sir.
Arm.
Lumpkin.
4.
Good to meet you, sir. For the
there you go. The headshot.
I've never met you before.
And then, that's something that I didn't get into throwing axes until I met Thor. Actually, he was the one that taught me how to do it.
I didn't know about Thor, and now I'm sad. That's crazy.
Yeah. He's in a better place now. He's in no more pain.
I didn't.
He's doing.
Same. I didn't know about him until the passing, but
he was a great guy. He was out of a lot of the red pill content creator or coaches, whatever. He was actually one that cared enough to not leave guys in this anger phase of the red pill. He was always about helping guys see, okay, well, you could do something about this. You could fix this. You could fix yourself. There's always, enough to blame on both sides. Just because she did something wrong doesn't mean that you didn't do something wrong either. So he was really good at getting guys, to look inward and then just improve themselves rather than just bitch about what the whammon ain't doing. The favorite thing that he would say would be like, when you get a dog, because you want a pet, and then you get mad at the dog for barking, and you wish the dog didn't bark, then why did you fucking get a dog? It's stupid.
Well, you train the dog.
But why would you get mad at the dog for barking? If it's the dog's nature. If the dog's nature is to bark, even if you train it as best as you can, the dog's still going to bark. Right?
No. You sit on it. You train it.
You sit on the dog.
Yeah, I mean, sit. I say not like just sitting on, but cover. That's like exerting domination. They're pack animals. They exist by who is daddy, essentially, of the pack. And that's how.
So it's and then why would you get mad at women for being, having female nature? Like, oh well, women are so. This is the thing that gets me. Guy goes, women are so emotional. Well, yeah, because they're women, right? That's their nature. That's how they process information. Why are you getting mad at? If you want a woman that doesn't get emotional, then don't you just want a guy? Isn't that saying you're kind of gay if you are bitching about female nature?
Not gay.
I keep muting myself. Sorry. It's my whole problem with the Manosphere. I think I've been over this several times. It's like, should we make women accountable for their actions? Absolutely. But is this going to
women for their? Should you bitch at women for operating in their nature? No,
you shouldn't. No,
shouldn't hold it against them though. Also, in chat, Michelle, who is the dog's daddy? Grump. It's you. You're the pack leader. You're the owner. That's the thing, is you have to speak dog to a dog. Dogs don't understand English language. You have to speak dog to a dog.
So you bark at the dog to teach the dog.
Well, no, you don't bark at the dog, but you speak to the dog in language that the dog understands. That's how you get lower level creatures to do what you want to do, essentially. Which,
how do you,
I mean,
what does dog sound like? Friends. I just need to know what dog sounds like, because I don't think I know what dog sounds like. And that's how you speak to the dog?
No, I don't. No, I don't make noises at friggin' dogs. That'd be stupid.
I think what Grumple is talking about is...
I was just saying, what does dog sound like? That's what you ask.
I think what you were trying to say was the majority of animals on this planet actually speak with nonverbal language, and how you interact with a dog, you have to sort of match that, right? You have to speak to them nonverbally, like your.
Oh no, I wasn't trying. I actually said like essentially the same thing, but not in the same words.
Yeah,
wasn't. There is no try.
There is no try. We either do or we don't, right?
Yeah, little green munchkin had a few things right.
Screw that little green munchkin. Anyways,
it's fucking little tiny ass lightsaber. Fuck him.
Leave Yoda alone. He didn't cause nobody any problems.
Yeah, but like nobody cared about Yoda until Grogu came around, and then like, it's all baby Yoda, and then everybody.
What are you talking about? Yoda has always been a G.
Yoda has always been a G. He had some very heavy hitting lines in like episode 3, Revenge of the Sith.
He did, but however, have you heard like the George Lucas interview about like whence Yoda came? He was like, yeah, I don't know. I just made up a thing because I had to kill off Obi-Wan because the actor was so like regal that I had to kill him off and then make a new thing. And I had no backstory and no reason for him to exist at all. Like this was out of George Lucas's mouth. I just fairly recently saw this as an interview.
George Lucas actually messed up a lot of stuff. He actually admits to messing up the entire timeline for the original.
Yeah, George Lucas is really enemy as far as fucking Star Wars. Yeah, he's
Yeah, he admitted that.
Bring in the Muppets and then fuck him up. It's fine.
Yeah, he admitted that the original trilogy, the people's ages were completely off. Like the ages, like Obi-Wan should have been like 40.
Oh yeah, the timeline doesn't make sense at all.
Yeah, like Obi-Wan should have been like 40 in the trilogy, or tops 50, but they made him 89. They made him like Bernie Sanders.
They made
all the shit. They didn't make him.
Yeah. Sir something. He was like a knighted actor in England. I forget the actor's name who was in the first, like the initial one.
The fight on Mustafar should have happened during the first movie between Obi-Wan. It shouldn't have happened initially. Like Darth Vader getting all his limbs cut off by Obi-Wan, that happens later on. It shouldn't have happened in the original, not the original, but the new
apparently
trilogies.
There was a comic just on this, like right when that happened, when he lost all his limbs. Apparently there's a comic, and I just saw this thing like, wait, why is like just it was in my feed, where Anakin, right after he loses that fight on Mustafar, or on the lava, right, he's got no limbs. Lieutenant Dan, he like grows Force limbs real quick, and then fights some lava little minions, and then goes about his business with like Force limbs that don't actually exist. They're like Force limbs, and he's like holding a lightsaber, like all kinds, except for the part where then like Obi-Wan had taken that lightsaber, but he still has it somehow. I'm not sure how canon that is.
Now, I don't know what you're referring to. You're referring to him being in like the dark dimension.
When when he lost all his limbs and then he like manifested Force limbs and he just started standing up and walking and doing stuff.
Oh yeah,
he had nubbins. He had nubbins. He didn't have full on limbs at that point.
Yeah, he like manifested Force limbs. That's what this thing that I saw was, and I don't know if it's true or canon or not.
It's probably not.
That's
canon.
why I'm throwing it out here to see, like, hey, what do y'all think about this? I'm not saying it's canon. I'm not saying it's like true or nothing.
All right, I'm gonna show you a video where I throw an axe at like 21 feet. It was like great.
All right, so here.
How many people did you defootate? 21 of them?
Yeah, no, like. That's not me. So this is like from 15 feet. Stuck. But then
too
I
low,
do it
too low.
21 feet. Bam!
That's a good hit.
It's like away.
It's a good hit.
Always on my target.
Yeah. Also, for anyone that doesn't fundamentally understand axe throwing, you can still do quite a lot of damage even if you don't actually stick the axe in. Like if you, for instance, right, if you were throwing that axe at an actual person, right, like it historically would have been done, then literally the blade's still swinging around and you're still going to do damage to people.
Well, Tootie, I don't have a man bun, so therefore I don't take guys with man buns seriously either. All right.
I mean, he sunk it in though.
Yeah. So a random independent someone.
I know random independent.
He wants to. He's on the panel. He wants to say something. I want to give him the opportunity to speak.
Oh, hey, sir. No, I was just passing through. I don't know. Is my mic too loud?
Good morning.
Your mic's fine.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I was just passing through. I saw the Yoda slander, or heard the Yoda slander.
The Yoda slander
should crazy.
Unsatisfactory, uncalled for by any means.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
Yeah, I just wanted to know where his hate for Yoda came from.
From a little guy not probably kicking him in the shin and not giving him a lollipop.
Okay.
Who's hate for Yoda?
There's a disrespect by a dude on the bottom right. He was saying that nobody cared about Yoda until Grogu. How do you forget what you said? You said nobody cared about Yoda until Grogu. Till Baby Yoda.
It was I'll stand by that. Minus the speech patterns, but yeah, it was like he was a Muppet, and a lot of people didn't mean
what.
No, I'll stand by my original statement. Yeah,
I think you have it backwards.
Oh, stupid! Hang on, it's not hate saying that nobody cared.
It is kind of hating on one of the most popular Star Wars characters to say that nobody cared about him until Baby Yoda came about, which the only reason that he was even popular was because of Yoda.
Wait, do you mean Grogu?
Yeah, but obviously in season 1, everybody was calling Baby Yoda. He was being called Baby Yoda because Yoda was already popular.
Oh, so you forgot his name? Oh, okay, no biggie. Oh.
I said Grogu like multiple times when I first.
Actually, he was called Baby Yoda because nobody knew his name during the first episode.
I know, but nobody would have called him Baby Yoda if Yoda wasn't already a character established that was popular.
Nobody on the show called him that. He was called the Child. That was just
we're talking about in popular discourse. We're not talking about fictional characters and whether they cared about Yoda or not. We're talking about Star Wars fandom.
Let me know what I'm talking about. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Okay, so are you saying that Yoda wasn't popular in Star Wars universe? Is that your argument?
Yoda was very popular in the Star Wars universe.
I don't know. I was getting into a debate, bro, about Star Wars, but okay.
Yeah, man. The Star Wars nerds are everywhere. You got to watch what you say.
Okay, no. I mean, I'll take that one. Yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
I'll all right. What I said.
Yeah.
What do you got?
No,
this is a good one. You got to respect Baby Yoda because nobody knew him as Grogu until they said his name because you said he was a child, but everybody knew he looked like a little baby Yoda, and everybody knew who Yoda was. That means Yoda was important enough to be known.
But you didn't really care about him so much because he ended, in the first 2 movies. Oh.
No. Yeah, see, he doesn't know what he's talking about. I think that's the issue. I think he should maybe go back to maybe some of the... No, you don't. You just said he ended in the first 2 movies.
Yeah, in the first two, like so.
Are you talking about the prequel, like the?
Didn't he die in
episode 5? He did not die in episode 5. Yep, did Yoda?
Okay, so you're counting the first two movies as in like 4, 5, and 6. I thought you were talking about 1, 2. Okay, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, I mean the ones that like.
So he's an old head. That's the issue. He grew up as a boomer, basically. And yeah, back then, your generation probably nobody cared about Yoda, but anybody that followed 1, 2, and 3 cared very much about Yoda. Dooku versus Yoda and Sidious versus Yoda were amazing.
Yoda walked in there with his cane, all crippled-like, and then he started.
Right there.
He was extremely popular,
and then he started bouncing around and kicking ass, and taking names.
Yeah, no, in the first in the prequels, yeah, Yoda's like dancing around shit, but it sounded like there was just a concession that hey, Grumples wins. So
no, I didn't hear
that. The debate that we were just the formal debate that we were just having, Grumple wins. Okay, now we can move on. It's fine.
Well, I don't understand how we're talking about 4, 5, and 6, which is what the 70s, 80s, and whatnot, and then the newer generation of people which watched the 1, 2, and 3 cared very much about Yoda, and those are the same ones that would have watched The Mandalorian. Okay, so are you talking about the fictional people in Star Wars didn't care about Yoda, or are you talking about in real life the Star Wars fandom didn't care about Yoda?
I can't believe you're having a debate me bro moment over fucking Star Wars right now.
It's not Star Wars.
I don't even know how to like.
Yoda transcends Star Wars.
Figure out like okay, let's
Yoda's not real, bro. He's Yoda, lightsaber that's based.
That's because he passed away, but he is from a galaxy far, far away.
Jim Henson was involved in the actual Muppet of Yoda.
Is that one of them real lightsabers, Dylan? Like the actual sabers that you actually.
Your mic is muted.
You're muted.
Sir.
You're muted.
Like the dueling lightsabers, where you yeah.
Oh, I wanted those for so long, bro. Damn. Yeah. Yep.
Don't fuck with me.
I did not expect you to have a lightsaber, to be honest with you. I thought this was going to be way out of character for you. Everyone loves Star Wars, bro. I swear to God.
Glenn, mine's going to be a weird color, and when we meet, we're going to have a duel.
Mine changes colors.
No, like mine's going to be a canonical color.
I can change colors, watch.
I'm not going to say which color it is, and
we're watching.
It's probably not red. It's probably something else.
I think it might be broken.
Glenn, when we do, because it's going to happen at some point, when we do some content at some point together, we're going to do a lightsaber duel.
I think Glenn wins.
There you go.
Is Glenn? Wait, Glenn, have you done any classical fencing or just fencing?
Yeah, I've done the fencing.
Have you done any Shinai? Have you done like Shinai training at all?
Does it change to red though, Glenn? Is the question.
Oh, it changes to the red. Watch, hold on, I'll turn it off.
Okay. I'm not saying how it's going to end up. I'm just, I'm looking forward to it.
Shut up, bro.
I'm looking forward to it.
Watch.
Unstable blade.
Notice he didn't argue with we're going to do some fun content.
Very nice.
That's why.
I got
supposed
two
to
of
represent the one where it turns off and
you have two. Aren't those things like $200?
They're a little bit more than that, but
yeah.
If you want a good one, hang on. No, seriously, Glenn's not going to say this. If you want a good one, budget $700. Just budget that, and then you'll probably
they go around like so. The ones I got cost about like $500.
God,
depending on where you get it. Yeah, just budget $700.
And the cool thing is, I can beat the brakes off and it doesn't break. It's cool. Anyways, go on, Grump. Talk about your bullshit about how Yoda wasn't a real G.
Well, I mean, I mean,
nothing about that.
I'll argue in favor of the Sith. Hold on.
Yoda in the first 3 movies existed for like, I don't know, 25 minutes.
What?
Yes, but you don't. Okay. I can't even argue on your. Listen, yes, when we're talking about the movies, absolutely. But we're talking about canon. Yoda was a very, very, very important figure. He was also alive.
Bumpkin, why are you conceding something that isn't even true? The original 3. I'll say the original 3 rather than the first 3. The original 3 movies maybe an argument can be made, even though Yoda and Luke's training on Dagobah was very popular. Was very popular. So he was a pivotal character. Even then, he was very popular too.
Yep. That was
now we're gonna go
Return, or that was the Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, and then if we go to 1, 2, and 3, it's his argument falls completely away. It's just completely wrong.
I don't like. I grew up like as you say. I'm Gen X technically, but yeah, I'm a boomer, and I grew up with episode 4, 5, 6 as like here and
okay, yeah, but
yeah,
if it wasn't,
but you gotta give it the time.
Canonically, Yoda's a badass, 100%, but nobody cared about him. And I mean,
we talking about everybody was sad that he died.
Am I bad for saying that?
He didn't even die like a G. He just died like an old age.
He did kind of. I mean, that's kind of like a G to go out 900 years old. It's kind of G like.
Yeah, but you know damn well he wanted to die.
He was literally visiting Grandpa at the nursing home and watching him die in the nursing home.
No, it was like visiting Bruce Lee if he was still alive and getting trained by Bruce Lee.
It got some training, but right before he died. That's kind of what happened.
Yeah, he's like an old seer.
So I'll eat this one. I'll take the L. I apologize for personally offending you on saying that. Hey,
no. Getting
Yoda was not as important of a character.
Wrong about Yoda. That's
it's not just you personally offending me.
For being wrong about Yoda.
Yeah, you were wrong about Yoda. You offended the Star Wars fandom and the Star Wars universe, and you offended Yoda. So even though he's not here with us physically, he is here spiritually as a Force ghost, and I would appreciate if you apologize.
No, that's
to Yoda.
okay. No,
I would appreciate if you apologize to Yoda again.
No, I'm okay.
I have to insist that you apologize to Yoda as well.
No. I personally would like to offend the Muppet personally, so that I can interact with him.
He's not a Muppet. He's a Force ghost.
That's not going to happen.
Yeah, Yoda was.
No, it's not.
And he was the most powerful light side user until Luke, but it's all good.
Where is this? Like,
well, I mean, except for did you forget?
Do you have an issue with like small aliens? Like,
I forget who?
Illegal alien or something?
Qui-Gon, though?
Qui-Gon is not more powerful than Yoda.
Yeah, Qui-Gon is not more powerful.
Not even close.
Nowhere near close.
Now, I will say if he was alive,
I think he's just saying things to trigger us.
If he would have lived and actually, was able to study the living Force potentially, but no.
Come on now, ain't no potential.
No potential. I mean, if it's possible, it was not 80. If it's possible for Luke, then Anakin.
No, it's possible for Luke because he's Anakin's child.
Yeah,
it's not some random.
Yeah, these nerds. I'd rather. Wait, what about Grimlock? You think Grimlock's a Force user?
I don't even know who Grimlock is.
The fuck, Grumple, are you just trolling us at this point? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, I think he is.
I mean, no. I mean, I might have got a little bit into the mode. I'm trying not to. I'm really trying not to.
Yeah.
But I forget. Like, I can't see who his name is. The guy with the eye, the on-off button profile picture is making it difficult. I'm really trying not to because I know a lot about this.
You know a lot about Yoda, and you said that Yoda. Well, what do you know a lot about?
He said Yoda ain't shit. He don't know no shit about Yoda.
I'm confused because you said so. You must be trolling because you said Qui-Gon. So you're saying you know a lot. So either you know a lot and you're trolling, or you don't know a lot.
Obviously, I don't know anything. I'm a simple monkey, sir.
It's okay. We all are.
So like Gridlock from Rainbow Six Siege, or what are we talking about?
No, Grimlock, the Dinobot.
Grimlock.
So we never really got to
the Transformers
conversation on should
Second
America be bombing Iran or not? We never finished that conversation. So
Iran retaliated. Did you guys talk about that?
Actually, I did not. You want to bring that up?
In the last hours?
Last hour.
What happened?
Why are you asking? Did you talk about this yet when it just happened? Come on.
Because it's been over an hour and I just hopped on the stream, so it's probably been an hour and a half, almost 2 hours now. So I asked him. So anyway, they attacked Qatar. They attacked Al Udeid, most likely in Qatar, and they also attacked some bases in Iraq. 10 ballistic missiles, I think, hit or were fired at Qatar, which were most likely intercepted. There's footage online at this point. And then the Iraq stuff, I don't know anything about it.
So
what'd you say? I'm sorry.
Was Yoda there?
He's probably the reason why they didn't land. Yeah, and you keep on disrespecting him, and I think it's crazy that you don't
No, I haven't been disrespectful at all to him at all.
You said that nobody cares about him as if he doesn't have a force dome over the U.S. personnel right now in the Middle East protecting us.
Here we go. Got something here. Let's see what they say.
I'm sorry, I can't. That was good.
Thank you.
Iran. Now, President Trump is weighing military action. ABC's Nicole D'Antonio has the details this morning.
Good morning. It's been nearly 1 week since Israel launched a wave of airstrikes targeting Iran's nuclear program. Now, Iran's deputy foreign minister is warning of retaliation. This morning, tensions between Israel and Iran intensifying. Overnight, Israel attacking dozens of military targets around the country, including an Iranian nuclear facility south of Tehran. Iranian state-run media says there was no radiation danger and the facility had already been evacuated. Iran also firing missiles into Israel, hitting multiple locations, including a direct hit on a medical building.
We just come down to one of the impact sites here in Tel Aviv. Dozens of Iranian missiles fired into the heart of Israel's biggest city. You can see the destruction to the building here, but also...
Wait, is that Gordon Ramsay?
But also to residential apartments. Scenes of total chaos here as emergency services try to get to work.
Now President Trump is considering U.S. military action. Sources tell ABC News that the president has been briefed on detailed military options for striking Iran. It comes as Iran's supreme leader rejected Trump's demand for an unconditional surrender. In Washington, intense debate over possible U.S. involvement, with concern among Democrats that the president is bypassing the assessment of the intelligence community and congressional leaders on potential military action against Iran. Meanwhile, Republicans are divided over whether President Trump should launch a military strike on Iran, with some critics pointing to his campaign promise to keep America out of foreign wars. Nicole D'Antonio, ABC News, Washington.
All right, hold on. I'm trying to find the footage
of Iran.
Before you move on, could you back up? And I really want to see.
That wasn't Gordon Ramsay. That wasn't Gordon Ramsay. It was not.
Okay, you knew my question before I said
now
it.
in the ongoing tension between Israel and
it
Iran.
really looked like
Overnight,
Gordon
Israel
Ramsay.
launching more airstrikes, hitting several targets in Iran.
I'm trying to find footage of the missiles in Qatar.
Iran lashes out United States after America bomb. Okay, here we go. Let's see.
No, that's 18 hours ago. Don't click that.
invite you to
So you're trying to find footage of Qatar? You can either go up and click live for the filters because that'll bring up the news talking about it live, and then or two you can go to combat footage on Reddit and see the footage recorded.
Let's see.
Wait, combat footage? I don't do Reddit at all.
Yeah, there's a subreddit called combat.
Iran to attack U.S. bases.
Combat footage.
Well, thank you.
All right, here we go.
Is condemning Iranian attack on U.S. military base in Qatar. Qatar says no casualties from attack on U.S. military base. Qatar says it reserves its right to respond after Iranian attack. Qatar
why can I rewind this? I want to go
It's
back.
live, and sometimes they don't allow that option.
Oh, I don't want them. I don't even like CNN.
The Clinton News Network. You don't like that one?
No.
Are you just trying to see the footage of the ballistic missiles?
Yeah, I want to see what they do. What did they do exactly?
Oh, okay. Well, they got intercepted. But if you go to reddit.com/r/combat footage, you can see the footage.
Hey, EOD put in your chat
hold
a thing to search that he said gets it up immediately.
All right, cool.
And
thank you, EOD.
Getting your Blue Chew or Viagra for the footage, I guess. I'm not sure. Get it up immediately. I don't know. I don't know about that. Just I'm just Simple Monkey, just trying to live here.
Here we go.
Yeah, it gets it up immediately. It's kind of wild.
And you and I started talking about this about 45, more than an hour ago now.
EOD coming in clutch.
Sources are telling you that we thought would be. Have we gone someplace that we're at least prepared to deal with?
Well, Harris, right now, what we can tell from open source reporting on Twitter, you can see imagery of about what we're told from Israeli sources are 6 ballistic missiles that have been fired from Iran towards Qatar. As you know, as we discussed, the Al Udeid base, the largest U.S. Base in the Middle East, is about 40 miles from the capital of Qatar, from Doha. You can see the night skies over Doha right now, and there are explosions in the air. Some of those may be air defense missiles, Patriot missiles, trying to intercept those ballistic missiles. We have no indications of impact at this point. As you and I discussed before, there were satellite images from last week of Al Udeid, where the U.S. normally has a large number of transport planes, refueling planes, that those tarmacs had been emptied of those warplanes. But Al Udeid normally would have 10,000 U.S. troops based there. There had been warnings to U.S. embassy staff to shelter in place and at other embassies across Doha. We also now are learning that the airspace over UAE, the United Arab Emirates, where the United States military has another large military base, that airspace has been closed. And we also understand there could be an imminent threat to U.S. troops and personnel at bases in Iraq. That, if you remember, just 5 years ago, Iran fired ballistic missiles, dozens of them, at U.S. troops in the wake of Qasem Soleimani's killing. So a lot of intelligence warnings. We brought it to you on air just a little while ago, and now it seems that those explosions are being heard over the capital of Qatar.
Well, and through your reporting, you readied us for, exactly who would be still there, and you're furthering that now to let us know who is able to get out and who's expected to be there serving right now. 6 missiles may not sound a lot to some people because they can do so much damage. And Iran reportedly has been running low on, we don't really exactly know what they have. Maybe they're not running that low. But with precision, 6 missiles are a lot. They haven't really been precision.
Wait, I didn't do that.
So going into Israel, they've been hitting all those residential targets. Not saying that they didn't want to kill civilians, but a little bit more haphazard. This seems more precision.
Well, I would say, Harris, the difference between Qatar and Israel is that it's just a few-minute flight for both short-range and medium-range
so both
ballistic
kinds.
or cruise missiles. You also could be having, and my guess right now, based on the way the Iranians have been behaving in terms of targeting Israel, you may also have swarming drones that could overwhelm any air defense system. So obviously, the U.S. military, U.S. Central Command has been preparing for this moment. They have been setting up air defense. Al Udeid would be one of the most protected bases that the U.S. has, but they also have long known that they are sitting ducks there. And so therefore, right now, we have to just see if any of those ballistic missiles or cruise missiles got through.
All right, Jennifer Griffin, stay where we can get you.
All right, so here's the thing. We have to, as the United States citizens, now I'm no longer active duty, but I would say that people have to understand that if we involve ourselves in other people's beef, we will be targeted, especially if we pick one side over the other side. Whatever side we don't pick is going to be like, well, fine, then America's our threat too. We're going to teach them a lesson. And it's just the nature of it. I don't think it's right. No. I don't think we should have, dropped the bombs over there either. I think that if Israel wanted to do that, then Israel could have bought a plane from us and their pilots could have done over there into the bomb rain. That's just my personal opinion.
We don't sell those aircraft.
Well, we sell them a lot of other things. We could have given them something.
That's the only aircraft that can carry that.
True.
Yeah, we don't sell B2s.
Figure it out on their own. That's just my personal thing.
Things.
Like, my thing is like, look, I'm tired of fighting other people's wars. I'm really tired of getting in other people's business like this. Like, the only OPP I like is other people's pussies, not other people's problems. I don't like other people's problems. I don't even think you should do OPP, period. But if you are, it should be in other people's pussies.
Is it? My bad. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
If I may, just so super quick. Again, none of these people eat bacon, so not my problem. I don't have anybody whose side I'm on. But then also, once we got involved, we have to be decisive and victorious.
Once we got involved,
whoever decided whoever it doesn't matter who decided that we're involved. If we're involved now, now we have to win. That's
we shouldn't. If we got involved, we should have never gave them the opportunity to respond. Is what I'm getting at.
I guess my question.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying now.
Is kind of when do you think that the involvement just started when we dropped the mop on the nuclear facility, or has this been an ongoing conflict?
No, this has been just by
dry spaces.
I'll say just by supporting Israel as much as we have has been would be enough for
in the history of any country giving any other country money in the history of ever.
Yes, Trump.
Just
by doing what America has been doing for Israel has been enough to consider, everybody that's an enemy of Israel to be an enemy of us as well.
Not really.
I think that personally,
Egypt, Lebanon, Jordan, Saudi Arabia, obviously the Gulf countries have started to get a little bit more cool with Israel, but a lot of these countries have supported or still support anti-Israel movements or go against Israel, and they're still pretty cool with them. So it's not just being supporting Israel. It makes you an enemy of every other country, which is a whole entire different topic, even if that were true, because Israel has a right to exist, in my opinion.
Israel has the right to go to war with whoever they want to go to war with. I'm just tired of them dragging us into it.
I guess if they're the ones being attacked, are they dragging us into it, or are the countries around them dragging us into it?
No, they are dragging us into it when Netanyahu says we're doing this for you, America. Because they say they're chanting death to America.
Do you think that Iran should be allowed to have a nuclear weapon?
No, but I don't think a lot of countries. I think we should be the only country that have nuclear weapons.
But there are countries that already have nuclear weapons, and I don't think
also,
we should.
New friend, welcome in. Just real quick. Here's the thing that I said earlier.
It's not a new friend. This is Ms. Lindsay. She's been here a lot.
Lindsay, welcome, new friend for the conversation tonight. Lindsay, good evening or good morning. Good. Actually, it's friggin' good afternoon at this point. I'm a grumple, and I don't think we've talked before. But either way, we have
pictures all the time.
Oh, well, I'm just bad at a lot of things, so
I'm forgettable. So nice to meet you again. So we'll just go.
Oh, that's
Bjorn, you better get your happy ass up here. Don't be sniping from the chat.
The thing that is gonna be ridiculous about this take it. I gotta realign for more.
Okay. Good job. You do that. Hold on. I want Lindsay to chime in because she has something to say. She doesn't come up very often. When she does, she has something to say. Go ahead, Lindsay.
Nah, I'm just up here. I actually have a legit question, and it may be a stupid question to some people, but I am thinking China. What is the? I want to ask the people here. What is the role of China in all this? Since China is completely dependent on the Middle East for oil, they're not speaking, they're not talking, they're not making any moves that I could see.
Oh, Lindsay, you weren't trying to ask me about something?
Anyone really?
I haven't seen. I haven't seen anything about China other than I saw some report that said the U.S. was trying to pressure China to ensure that Iran doesn't close the strait.
Have they already closed it, or they're considering?
No, they are considering. Well, reportedly they are considering it. I don't think they really have the capability to do it, but that's regardless. Yeah, that's the only thing I saw about China.
I think Iran is a proxy of China to a degree.
They're more of a proxy, I think, of Russia than China, but I do agree that they align in that sphere of influence against the U.S.
Well, let me go you one further. Lindsay, was this a question about BRICS essentially?
I'll repeat that. I got interrupted.
Was this a question about BRICS, like the Brazil, Russia, India, China?
It wasn't. It's just India.
Who's this?
China's been.
S is South America or South Africa, I think.
South Africa, yeah, I think that's it.
Not
Is
necessarily.
it essentially a question about BRICS, or?
I think she was just really China.
Well, I was thinking about the Ukraine
'Cause that's how they do it.
and Russia, and how China was kind of on the periphery of that too, in terms of getting involved. And then I was thinking, now that we have this going on in the Middle East and Iran, and Iran and China are so interdependent in a way, what does this mean for China?
Yeah.
EOD, how about you get back up here? Get on the channel.
I think that your question, and it kind of stems into a bigger thing for me regarding just U.S. influence in the world. You brought up Ukraine and Russia and China's hand in that, and North Korea's hand in that, providing support essentially to Russia, and Iran providing support to Russia and whatnot. So from an aspect of the U.S.'s the U.S.'s influence in the world and the world order that the U.S. has created, I think attacking Iran, you can argue that is a good thing just from that standpoint alone. Getting rid of Iran's nuclear weapon and nullifying them militarily is the right thing to do from a standpoint of we're probably going to have a confrontation with China in the relatively near future, and the less support they can receive from other countries, the better.
So check this out. Like if we're like, oh, we're bombing, why are we bombing Iran now? They've been chanting death to America for a long time. Wouldn't it be like, that's just like bomb those motherfuckers as soon as they said that shit the first time?
If at the same time I could get the exact question again.
From who?
Oh, from Lindsay. Exactly the question.
In answer to that one, though, I think we're pretty much allied, like it or not, with Israel. So that's why we're involved. And then we've got the bombers. They don't have it. They can only use the bombers that we have. But the question, I'll go back a little second and repeat the question.
Yeah, I don't mean to make you repeat yourself unnecessarily, but I just want to make sure I understand.
It's only the fourth time. It's okay.
Can you do it 6 more times? Because
I was asking. I'm
not all that bright. You got to bear with me, please.
Okay. You heard what he said about Yoda.
Grump, let it go.
It was involving China, and China was involved with the Ukraine and Russia because of their interests. And we were just talking about how countries who ally, you necessarily create sides, whether you mean to or not, or you create enemies. So I was thinking, what does this mean in terms of China, who relies actually on the Middle East for all of its oil?
I have a separate thing for this, but did you answer that? I responded with, I asked you if this was a question about BRICS, and I don't think.
Yeah, she said
we got to know. Okay, no. Okay, so China is 100% the other big dick in the room that the United States has to deal with, and it's of our own making. And what they want, funny thing on the world stage, what China wants is to mine shit out of Siberia. Funny thing, that's their biggest thing. It's not Taiwan. They want to do the whole Taiwan thing, but that's kind of a distraction. They want to mine shit out of Siberia, which is one of their allies, Russia. But
why do I care? Like this is where I don't get it. Like, okay, as you said, since we're
I've been talking to one of a friend of mine who's
hold on,
no longer with us for quite a while.
Let me get my thought off. I'm trying to get my thought off.
My bad. You interrupted.
This is my thing. Like, Lindsay, I get it that we're allies. I have a lot of friends, right? And if my friends get into a fight, I don't jump into their fight. I stand by and I watch, make sure the fight is, fair, and that they get their ass kicked properly if it's deserving. Now, I'm not going to retaliate because they got their ass kicked. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be like, okay, well, take your lumps, go home, live the fight another day.
Geopolitically, it doesn't work like that.
Well, why not?
Well, the analogy doesn't work either because Iran's not our friend. So it's not like two friends fighting.
Israel is, right. But Israel is our
friend. Once you help someone, whether you're on YouTube or you're talking about geopolitically, you immediately create enemies and allies, right? You are considered to have taken a side, like the U.S. and Israel That's all I'm talking about here. It's just
all I'm saying is like even if I'm Israel's ally, why should we drop bombs for them? We shouldn't. We should just be like, all right, bro.
Us a favor because they couldn't do it.
I think that's the issue is that you're saying for them, and I think it's less for them as much as it's beneficial for us. It just happens to be beneficial for them as well. Like we have a common adversary or enemy, and yeah, they started it.
We dropped bombs on them before. Why do we wait until now?
Because it's a lot easier to drop bombs when someone has already beat the hell out of someone, and you don't have to worry about your shit getting fucked up. Oh, my bad. Can I cuss? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I cut.
Okay. Okay.
Do you think?
Yeah, it's a lot easier to, you don't have to worry. The air defense systems are gone. The aircraft they have are more or less gone. The ballistic missiles, their leadership gone. So at this point, it is safer to do something like this than if they had their entire country, the military apparatus, the intelligence apparatus, the anti-air defense systems, and all these other things, the air defense systems rather, and all these other things intact, which they don't have intact anymore because Israel, like Germany's prime minister or chancellor, whoever she was, said, did the dirty work for us. And as long as Iran is supporting terrorist groups that try to kill U.S. personnel in the Middle East, I don't think you can divest the connection between them and us bombing them.
Sorry, just got back. Her name is Angela Merkel, the Chancellor of Germany, but also, yeah, Iran has both no air assets and no anti-air assets currently, as far as
real quick, gentlemen. Pause for the cause. Pause for the cause. I want to welcome my friend Grid One Motorsports to the show, as well as welcome back POD, because I yelled at him enough to get him back on the channel.
Like I said, I'm not going to mow the grass, I guess, but
so. Grid, we're talking about Iran, America getting involved in some bullshit. Now we got them shooting missiles at our bases. Like, was it wise? Why did we even drop bombs on Iran? Why don't we just let Israel handle their own problems?
I mean, go ahead, Grid.
I was just talking about this.
Can you turn up your mic a little bit, Grid? Sorry,
you're super low, Grid.
Is it really?
Yeah,
it's like super loud.
Actually, you can.
Hang on.
Glenn, can you turn it? Can you turn them up on the? Just on the.
I did. Oh, I did.
Yeah, is that better?
Much better.
It's you're on par right now. Good. Yeah, please continue.
We're good.
Also, good morning, Grid.
Hey, morning. How's it going?
Good afternoon. Living a dream, man. Not a Porsche 918 dream yet, but we're working on it.
Back over.
I'm saying hi.
And I actually was just talking about this, and Anson Knowles was trying to troll me. I mean, I know where I stand on this, but I don't know where everybody else stands. So I'm assuming that Lindsay is like, don't bomb these poor people. They don't know what they're doing.
I didn't say that. That's Glenn's position.
Glenn's position is don't bomb these poor people.
No, I never said what you're saying.
First of all, I never said Iran is poor people.
Glenn's position is just that he doesn't find it to be our conflict, and we are supporting Israel and their conflict, and we should stay out.
I realize that you think that I'm extremely.
It is our conflict.
Okay, forget it.
Yeah,
well, then we should have bombed them a long ass time ago and stop waiting for Israel to start a fight to bomb them.
Well, this is a little bit of history that we have to go into, right? So if we, and again, I was just talking about this, so it's all really fresh. So without going all the way back to the 50s and the CIA taking out the Ayatollah, or not the Ayatollah, the president, and installing Ayatollah because they were afraid that Iran was going to go communist, which is that's what they always think. That's why we have so many problems in that area.
It's not really what happened.
What happened?
The Shah was already. This wasn't the Ayatollah. First of all, it was the Shah. The Shah was already the leader. The president, can't remember his name, but it starts with the M right now.
Yeah.
He was voted in as under the Shah. I don't know, prime minister, president, whatever they call it. And then, yeah, what she said. He was the one that the MI5 or MI6 or whatever.
CIA assassinated.
What'd you say?
Khomeini came to power after.
Yeah, but that's 1979.
Assassinated the president, right?
Yeah, that's way after. The Shah was there. Then
The Shah was the spiritual leader. The president was the political leader. The Shah was second to the president.
No, the leader of Iran was the Shah, Reza, if I'm not mistaken. Shah.
Isn't that like some form of monarchy, right?
And more or less, I'm not an expert on it, so I can't say. But he was a leader anyway. More of the story is he was a leader. Other dude that starts with an M that she just said I can't pronounce. I think he was put into power he was put into power somehow. I can't remember exactly, or he was just still below the Shah but taken out. Then the Shah came back and was in power from like 54, 56 or something like that until 79. And then 79 is what you're talking about with the Ayatollah coming in during the Islamic Revolution.
48, 49, 50, and 51.
Yeah, but you keep on saying the Ayatollah, and the Ayatollah wasn't there.
I didn't say anything about the Ayatollah.
I did.
I specifically said the CIA
took out the Ayatollah,
assassinated the president of Iran, and installed the mullah because the mullahs don't believe.
Yeah, you definitely said Ayatollah.
Well, then I misspoke. Okay. I didn't.
But the point being is he was the leader.
Rock and roller right now.
The Shah that was quote unquote installed was already the leader prior to that.
Right. So
it wasn't like he was some random person that they just randomly put in. Is the point?
Did they or did they not assassinate the president? And did that not?
You're making Grid mad.
What was accomplished was the removal of the progressive president. Iran was a progressive country at that point in time. If you look back in the 50s, late 40s, 50s, even a little bit after the assassination, Baghdad, for example,
of the Middle East, right?
Because of the Shah.
It was the
stuff that you're talking about is because of the Shah.
A massively awesome country. It was arguably
the progressiveness you're talking about is because of the Shah.
Okay. I don't believe that. I'll look again, but that's not. I think that there's a version of history where that may be represented, but I don't. That's not the version of history as far as the CIA is concerned, because the CIA did not want the president was propped up by the USSR at the time. They were giving him money. They were supporting him. He was taking it. Now his concern mostly was getting Russian technology and backing to drill for more oil.
I don't mean to be rude, but I mean, what does this have to do with the current hostilities, right? I
said there's a lot of history. So we created the problem fighting in the Middle East for 70 fucking years. Part of that at the end, at what was supposed to be one of the endpoints, was Iran agreed to not build or attempt to build nuclear weapons.
They signed the Non-Proliferation Act, right? That's they said they signed the Non-Proliferation Act.
They signed several treaties.
The nuclear.
They agreed to not smoke indoors.
I'm still smoking.
No, that's the French.
My bad. Signed, and they and that was supposed to be good. That was supposed to be fine. But they never actually adhered to it. They constantly, because the mullahs they don't believe that it's a big deal to break an agreement with someone that's not a non-believer. And so, we end up where we're at now. Now, back in Bush, they managed to uncover that they were, in fact, attempting to build nuclear weapons. And they had some of the money, it was about $6 billion, as I recall, was seized effectively by the U.S. Now, at various times that has been represented in the press as an aid package, but it wasn't. It was technically always Iran's money that was caught outside of their borders, where they were selling oil, despite the embargo, to fund their nuclear program, and the U.S. seized it, as we do.
Can I interject here? I want to add something to that.
Sure.
I'm with you so far, but I did want to add kind of Glenn's question is, why do we have to get involved in everything? We don't, but it's been our presidents prior to the current president we had. We're not going to touch this issue. So we let it go and we let it go and we let it go. 3 or 4
Yeah, and that, you're right. That they could just keep kicking the can. Bush did seize the money. Bush was trying to,
and then Barack Obama turned around and gave it back to him.
Well, partially.
There's
Biden
a lot more
finished
there.
the job, right? So, yes, you're correct.
I'm sure there
So
is.
Trump is the real muckraker.
What I'm getting to, though, is that the current situation that we're in is that an Islamic regime which hates America, hates the West, hates Israel, it potentially has nuclear weapons. But I don't think they should have nuclear weapons. I think we should do everything that in our power to stop that from happening. But I haven't seen what prompted this attack. I haven't seen what changed the fog of war situation on the ground that said that it was okay for Trump to send B-2s over there to drop 14 bunker busters on 2 nuclear sites in Iran.
So I think the reason that one of the reasons that Trump was always on kind of the edge of this and is kind of trying to balancing on a knife edge is he or his advisors did not want to believe that Iran was actually enriching nuclear materials to weapon limit. They weren't I think for a long time we've not wanted to believe that they were capable, and because we have said, if you go back and look at the news reports, well, they're not capable of creating weapons grade nuclear material.
I don't think the weapons grade nuclear material was in question in so far as having a delivery system that.
Lindsay dropped. No, I think it has been. I think it's been in question a long time.
Well, Tulsi Gabbard came out 2 months ago and testified to Congress that said we know that they're producing more plutonium than they need, and it's probably weapons grade shit, but we don't think they're developing a nuclear weapon. According to the intel that we've been able to gather, it's not been weaponized. So the problem there is what economic influence, right? They can sell that shit to China, they can sell it to Pakistan, they can sell it to Russia for them to continue to develop nuclear weapons. I agree, that's a problem, but that's not let's send in the B-2 bombers to blow some shit up kind of problem.
It kind of is though, right? Like if so, all right, let's just say that it is like WMDs in Kuwait, right? And
Iraq.
Let's just say it's that same kind of thing. Like it's kind of there, but it's not really there, and it's not really what we're being told it is. Let's just say it's that kind of thing. Even if so, we know that there is weapons grade material there. Whether or not Iran intends to build one today or not is irrelevant. The fact that they can build it, and the mullahs are extremists, and they will attack various people that shouldn't be attacked. And I'm not even worried. I'm less worried about America. I'm more worried about backpack nukes going off in downtown Delhi or going off in Paris or somewhere like that. Somewhere that doesn't have that ability, right? So I'm far more interested in preventing on a worldwide stage Iran from having this ability, this capability. And further, I think you're right, EOD. The thing is Iran would sell that material to other countries. Probably. And now China already has that. China wouldn't be a buyer, but let's say
South Korea might be.
South Korea, North Korea, a lot of African warlords. I mean, just think about some guy down in like I can't think, Ghana or whatever.
They don't got the money.
Sure, Libya, but
to answer your question, EOD, or at least from one perspective, there's probably multiple that can be answered on as to why now and not before. I think you and what's the host name? Glenn. Yeah, Glenn. I think you both asked a question. Me?
Yeah.
Random Independent.
Random Independent. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I hadn't heard of it.
You can look at it kind of similar to North Korea. North Korea right now has a lot of artillery, has a lot of retaliation it can do to Seoul, essentially. So why don't we take them out, even though they are a rogue regime that has nuclear weapons? Well, that's a reason we don't. With Iran, we believe that they had the retaliation possible for to retaliate against our personnel and against Israel or our allies in the region, generally speaking. And now we don't believe they have that capability anymore because Israel has pretty much taken them out. So if South Korea had done a similar operation against North Korea and taken out all the artillery and taken out all the leadership and all these things, and there wasn't really a repercussion for us destroying their nuclear weapons or the nuclear facilities, then we could do it. But we don't do it because of those retaliation measures that could be put in place, and we obviously didn't believe that Iran would do so, and so we struck. And so that's one perspective to look at it. There's others as well, but that's one of them.
Ideal opportunity, right? I mean, it really was.
Pete Hegseth said that almost verbatim.
I don't like to be compared to the bums, but you know, even a broken clock is right once or twice a day. So
right.
EOD, you're really low as well. Can you? I think you're just far away from your microphone. There you go.
That could be it.
At any rate, it's very interesting to me because North Korea is an excellent example, right? Like North Korea, I think one of the reasons why we don't really go after North Korea is because most of the stuff North Korea they got from Russia, and we don't know. We don't truly know everything they have, right? Like we think I mean, I'm sure that some CIA guy, you know, NSA guy, some agency guy has a list, right?
Well,
but
they've threatened cities on the West Coast. They've demonstrated ICBMs that will fly out into the middle of the Pacific Ocean and appear to have the range capabilities to get there. But so I think the fact that they are a proven nuclear power and they are a deterrent is a deterrence for us. Yeah, I think.
But they're a retarded nuclear power. They're like the little brother with the controller unplugged nuclear power.
My button works, said Trump.
If I could put it that way.
The thing about it, Matt Gaetz had a great fucking talking point about this earlier.
Yeah.
And I think it was Thomas Massey who brought my attention to, or somebody, just one of the memers, I don't know. But what was it that Matt was saying? Was that this is instead of going to war, instead of sending B-2s or sending out B-52s to bomb North Korea, Trump went in there and found a diplomatic solution instead. Why can't he do the same thing with Iran? And then Gates' proposal.
Well, he's trying.
Gates' proposal at the end is if we can get Iran to denuclearize and we can get Israel to denuclearize, that would probably win him the Nobel Peace Prize. Like that's a much better outcome, in my opinion, than another endless 30-year war on boots on the ground in fucking Iran.
Iran's never Iran since like probably 1960 has not upheld a treaty for any length of time. So it's Iran's one of the few countries in the world where I would say that I wouldn't trust anything they say. They're really not a unified country anyway, right? So if he makes a treaty with whoever is,
Thank you, Greg, but he used you a lot earlier when somebody was saying, "Oh, we had it was actually Ryan, the coder guy." Saying, "Oh, we had this treaty and it was all this greatness with Iran because we had all these inspections and because that involves trusting Iran to uphill."
And the thing is, Iran's not a unified country, right? Like you have.
I didn't mean to interrupt you, sir.
Oh, that's okay. I'm sorry.
This is a callback to something that happened earlier, and like, oh man.
Yeah, no, it's cool, man. But hey, I mean, we all agree first that Iran is not a unified country where you are going to have an effective treaty with. Can we agree on that?
I agree. I definitely agree with that.
We can't have a treaty with Iran. One of the reasons
because they're not a unified country. They're a bunch of
most of the Middle East is like that,
right? Which is why we need to get out of the Middle East.
That's why I say we don't have no business in there in the first place.
Because of England. I'm sorry, Glenn. I interrupted you. My bad.
I'm saying that's why I say we have no business fucking fighting other people's fights in the first place.
But we're not fighting another person's fight. We took a measure of opportunity. See, this is bullshit, though. This is that kind of bullshit. Is it people say we're fighting Israel's fight? No, we took an opportunity. Israel knocked out most of their ability to do nuclear weapons. Okay, cool. We now have, and they have. Iran has no air force. Their rockets are crappy right now. So it's like
they have no air assets and no air defense assets currently.
Right. It's like you couldn't ask for a better window to make shit happen. Right. That's like true. This is like, let's make it happen right now. Like tactically, just thinking tactically alone, I'd 100% done it. And I'm a I am a non-interventionist. Like I think we ought to just get the fuck out of the middle altogether. Right. I think we ought to get out of the.
I'm non-intervention, but I'm also I'm just
when we bomb Iran,
very aggressive. What do you got, Ryan?
Okay,
good.
So I just want to point out Grumple's complete hilarious misrepresentation of me regarding the Iran nuclear deal.
Was it a misrepresentation?
Yeah, it was absolutely. Oh, everything was perfect. Everything was fine. There were no problems. Like all this bullshit. Like what I said about the Iran nuclear deal.
I misrepresented it. Okay.
Yeah, cartoonishly.
No, what please, I said about the Iran nuclear deal, your case now.
I'm trying to. If you'll shut up. Okay, so regarding the Iran nuclear deal. Okay, so regarding the Iran nuclear deal, what we did have was 24/7 camera access, as well as other inspective measures to at least to all of the major nuclear sites, right, in Iran.
Are you serious?
Yes.
You think that
prove
would,
it? Yes.
That would work?
What do you mean prove it?
Prove it. People have said that, but nobody's get sent. Literally nobody. Everybody says this, but there's no proof of that at all. Like none, zero.
Ryan, this was the exact same pushback that I had on you. I just let you roll with it rather than going that deep.
What's your? What do you mean? Prove what? Be more specific. Be more specific.
Okay,
they're not trustworthy at all.
The CIA report, or the NSA report, or the DIA report that says we have 24/7 video access to nuclear facilities in Iran.
Okay. I mean, I don't know about like those specific report, but I mean, this is absolutely like what the case was with the Iran nuclear deal that Trump pulled out of. You understand that, right?
So
you just have no idea. You just don't know anything about the Iran nuclear deal. Is that what you're telling me?
Hold on. What you're saying is a deal that never happened had that in it.
What do you mean a deal that never happened?
Access to their facilities. By the way, they're not a unified country, and so any treaty that you make doesn't hold water. It's bullshit. It isn't worth.
According to Grid's feelings
that it's written on.
Prove it. Prove that no deal with them matters. Prove it.
Show us an example of.
I will challenge you to find one treaty they've upheld.
Yeah,
one.
The Iran nuclear deal they were upholding.
No, they were not.
That didn't.
By what evidence? Prove they weren't upholding it. Demonstrate that.
They literally, Tulsi Gabbard testified before Congress that they had enriched nuclear material to weapons grade.
When did she say that?
A week ago.
Yeah, a week ago. Yeah. So 7 years after Trump pulled out of the Iran nuclear deal, dude. 7 years after.
We didn't bomb them 7 years ago, fucker. We bombed them yesterday.
No shit, dude. I'm telling you that I'm asking you to provide evidence. Hang on, you dude. I'll let you go in a second. I promise.
You need to form a coherent argument.
I am being very coherent here. I'm being very clear.
No, you're not.
I'm being extreme. If you'll shut up again, I'll explain again.
You're trying to
because I'm being very, very clear.
The timeline, and I'm saying that they've never.
You are bastardizing the timeline.
I'm not.
Okay. What I just said is that the Iran nuclear deal, which Trump pulled out of in 2018,
why did Trump pull out
gave us because he's a fucking moron.
No, he's not.
Money.
He is. He's a fucking idiot. He doesn't care about Americans. He doesn't care about our country. He hates his country.
He hates everybody, just like everybody you don't like, right?
No, just Trump.
What was the stated reason that Trump pulled out of the Iran nuclear?
Because it was the worst deal ever. It was the stupidest deal. It was got nothing from it except for access.
Nothing.
Except for inspective access and camera access to the nuclear sites.
Did we get that though?
Yes, we did. Yes, we had that. Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay.
Did we get access to the sites that we just bombed?
Yes.
No,
some of them at least. I'm pretty sure some of them.
No, the three sites that we just bombed.
Yes, no, maybe some of them. I don't know. Maybe.
I think so. I think so. I think so. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say.
We had access to the sites that we just bombed.
But you guys don't know either, so I don't know. Like, don't act like I'm fucking stupid.
No, we didn't. I'm saying we didn't. I think everybody else is here saying we didn't have access to those.
Grid didn't even know when the deal ended. Grid thought this deal was still going on a week ago.
I know we don't.
He just said they were violating it. His example of how they were violating it was Tulsi Gabbard a week ago.
No, I said that
you're gonna bang Tulsi Gabbard, don't you?
They were under an agreement for a while now to not produce nuclear weapons grade material. It's why they got the $6 billion back under Biden and Obama, Biden. Obama.
Who they have that agreement with?
Okay.
Who they have that agreement with?
I got this for you.
I'm sorry. What?
Okay.
Who did they have that agreement with?
In 2018, IAEA inspectors spent an aggregate of 3,000 calendar days in Iran installing seals and collecting surveillance camera photos, not video, measurement data, and documents for further analysis. In March 2018, Director
you're just talking it's very low.
Director Amano said that the organization that verified that Iran is implementing its nuclear-related commitments. On April 30th, the U.S. and Israel said that Iran had not disclosed past covert nuclear weapons programs to the IAEA as required. That's why Trump pulled out in 2018. They were not fulfilling their end of the bargain. They broke the treaty first, then Trump pulled out. This is very
typical. In the back?
I don't think anybody actually heard what you were saying. It was very low.
Yeah, and can you post it in the back also?
Yeah.
Can you dump up yours and maybe Glenn help out?
You are just deaf. Is this better?
No, you're just not on par. I mean, you're not incorrect. Yes, I am mostly deaf, but you're not on par voice-wise, like vocal, like volume level, with everybody else on the panel right now. It's super weird because usually yours is like just you're good to go.
Now I should be clipping my fucking input mechanism. Is this better?
Not tremendously.
So EOD, why don't you hover your mouse real quick, Grid. EOD, why don't you hover your mouse over that covert nuclear weapons program that you're referring to? Hover your mouse over that Wikipedia that link.
Ryan, if you have a point, just fucking say it, brother. I don't care for bullshit
AMAD
lyrics.
project is an Iranian scientific project started in 1989 and stopped in 2003.
Yeah, so they did not disclose that to the IAEA as was required, and so Trump pulled out of the agreement.
Just back off from your mic, like just like a couple inches, and you'll be good to go.
Okay.
So they didn't disclose something that they hadn't used since 2003, and so Trump pulled out of the agreement 15 years later.
Because it was part of the agreement. They didn't honor their end of the agreement. Just as Iran always breaks shit.
So you realize that's fucking stupid, right?
Yeah.
Well, you wanted to know why he pulled out. That's why he pulled out.
No, that was just a bullshit excuse.
Now we know how stupid it was.
He didn't want to agree to the treaty before he was even president, before he found out any of that information. So don't use that. That's just looking for an excuse for a conclusion you already came to.
Yeah, dude. Again, you cannot point to any deal since about 1960 that Iran has held to. They always break every single treaty they enacted, which is why nobody makes treaties with them. Nobody wants to deal with Iran. They're not a real country. They're a bunch of tribes that run around and kill people. It's what they do. They've been doing it for 10,000 years. They'll be doing it for 10,000 more. Just
they're a bunch of tribes that, Persia was a pretty, crazy, awesome empire, right? Like just historically speaking.
And you know what? And agree.
They just a couple of tribes that run around and
they have had periods of history where they were badass. Again, from about 1940 until about 1950, they were considered the Paris of the Middle East. They had, you should see pictures from. They had like water features. They had women wearing normal clothes for the time period. It was.
You see women wearing normal clothes in Iran right now, by the way.
Wait, are you defending Iran?
What do you mean defending? I'm defending not fucking going to war with Iran. Yes.
Okay, but you said you can see them wearing normal clothes now. Like, are you saying that the regime over there is not oppressive?
No, I'm not saying that.
Oh, okay. I just didn't know if you were just doing that.
But I'm not going to sit here and pretend that going to war with Iran is some feminist like iconic move.
Well, who's going to war?
Nobody said that.
Striking Iran is literally an act of war.
Okay, and so is them paying off and supporting and directing and funding and all this stuff, these terrorist organizations to attack Iraq or military personnel in Iraq and other places, is that an act of war? That's a question to you. Is them paying, funding, directing, etc., giving military weapons and aid and stuff to these terrorist organizations in Iraq and other places to kill U.S. personnel, is that an act of war?
You're saying that's what Iran's doing?
100%. I'm saying that's what it is. Let's just say, hypothetically, let's just say it is. Let's say that is what they're doing.
So you're saying that Iran's part of the war.
It is what they're doing.
So now you're agreeing there's a war. You're agreeing there's a war. You're just saying
I didn't agree there's a war. I'm asking you if that were the case, is that an act of war? It's just a yes or no question.
I'm not sure.
Okay, so if we use proxies to attack Iran, it's not an act of war.
I don't know if it is. I don't know. I don't know if funding. I don't know if funding money or funding organizations that then
arms, directing them as well.
All right. Let me ask you.
I don't understand it 100% is, but it's not going to be war if there's no retaliation that can happen. It's just taking care of business.
Yeah, I have to
basically disciplining a child. Essentially, is what's happening. They have no air assets, and they have no defense, their air defense, and they have no from ground to air defense assets at all. It's literally just spanking a child at this point. It's not like war, even though it technically is an act of war.
Children, it's a fucking country, dude. It's not children. Stop doing the analogies of the game controller and shit.
Child.
I want an honest answer.
Spanking a child.
It's not like spanking a child. It's like bombing a country. Okay,
right.
It's not like spanking a fucking child.
Literally, but we bombed the nuclear.
Stop acting like a child. Stop talking about this like it's a bunch of kids.
Well, just to be clear, we're bombing the nuclear facility.
Why are you policing my language? Why are you being so racist?
What the fuck are you talking about?
I'm policing my language. Don't tell me I can't describe it like that.
You can say whatever you want, and I'm going to call you fucking stupid for it.
Okay, Ryan. If a country has signed agreements, treaties, has outright stated that they're not pursuing nuclear weapons or trying to enrich uranium to the point that they can have nuclear weapons, and yet they have uranium that's enriched to that much, and they are also they're kind of tiptoeing the line, this gray area, and then you bomb their only nuclear facility that can do that. Who was in the wrong in that situation?
Okay, so I'm looking at. I have an article right here from it's about like, is Iran as close to building a nuclear weapon as Netanyahu claims? Blah blah blah. And it's talking about like Trump pulling out of the nuclear agreement.
We're just talking about we don't have to talk about that.
I know. I'm just saying from the Iranian perspective, all of these steps were permissible countermeasures to Trump's 2018 withdrawal from the nuclear deal. So if all the things that they're doing are actually totally permissible after that deal ended.
But we know it's. But hold on, we don't have to go. You realize that this issue isn't just 2018 onwards. I'm not a fan of Trump. I don't like him at all. I think he's a bum. I think the dude said that Hexeth said something similar. Hexeth is a bum. Please don't ever say that one of them said something I said. I probably said it first and had much more logic behind it. Christopher Hitchens
briefing about the attack, man.
Yeah, and he was reading off of Truth Social because he doesn't actually get any information. Whatever. Anyway, Christopher Hitchens, RIP, a GOAT, talked about Iran for a very long time and talked about them breaking. And he's obviously not the only one, but someone that I watched a lot of. He talked about Iran breaking treaties a lot. He passed away in 2012 or 2014 or 2010. So you're talking about a deal in 2018.
Did they break the nuclear deal?
Yes.
Not the one that Obama made because he wasn't alive when Obama made that deal. But we're talking about the other treaties.
That's not what I'm asking. I'm asking if they broke that specific Iran agreement. If that's why Trump pulled out, because I don't think they broke.
But that's my point. Is that I'm not just talking about that. And you're like, well, Trump pulled out of here because I agree. The reason that Trump pulled out that deal was dumb. What he brought up about 2003 was dumb. Like,
let me be more clear. What I'm alleging is that if Trump had not pulled out of this agreement, hang on, I'll be quick.
I want to hear.
If Trump had not pulled out of this agreement, then Iran would not have done the specific things that they were doing.
This is why you're
now bombing them for.
So let's take this treaty. Let's take this treaty. Why would they follow this treaty but not the other ones?
Exactly.
Ryan,
they had been. Is what I'm telling you.
No, they haven't. They've been breaking treaties. They've been breaking treaties.
It didn't break this one.
Yes, it did.
But it did. But hold on.
How long did they have between the time this treaty was made and time that the U.S. pulled out? And because they
I don't know, when was the Iran nuclear
the Europe, if I'm not mistaken, the EU also signed on to this treaty. So the treaty was still in play, just not on the U.S. side.
The Atomic Energy Agency. It's mainly supported by the United States, but a lot of European countries as well. It's a coalition.
You're really low again, EOD.
I don't know what to do about that.
The treaty was just not only the U.S. and Iran, if I'm not mistaken. It was also the EU and Iran. So even if the U.S. pulled out, and then you're saying, well, the U.S. pulled out, that's why they should be doing all these other things. They still had the treaty. So they broke that treaty too.
Well, I don't know if that's true either, but
Hi, I have to interrupt. Glenn has somewhere to be in a little bit, and I need to remind him of it. I need to kind of think about shuffling you guys off to maybe Gridstream.
Oh shit! The boss came in.
Good to see you.
Yeah, Ryan. I think that you're trying to work facts to fit what you've already decided. You've already
I don't
made.
feel like I'm doing that. I feel like I'm trying to understand what happened. And
no, you're not.
From my perspective, what it looks like. Okay, well, don't assert that I'm not trying to understand.
Stop, Ryan. Shut the fuck up and listen.
No, you shut the fuck up, bitch. No, I'm not. No, I don't actually. No, Grid. I'm not your fucking bitch. Okay, listen.
But you are my bitch right now.
I'm absolutely not, and that's why I'm talking over to you because I don't give a fuck.
Listen, right? Just like a bitch. You can't.
Hey, man, are we gonna have? We was doing good. It's all good. If Ryan says he's trying to understand, he's trying to understand. It's all good. Yeah. You whether you want to call it misspeaking or ignorant of the facts, said the U.S. overthrew the Ayatollah in the 50s and the Ayatollah didn't even exist. So let's relax on the condemnation.
Yeah, and I made him, and I said that I misspoke. However,
you also switched over to the mullahs, and the Shah wasn't a mullah either.
Right, but the Shah wasn't the guy who was the problem.
What do you mean? He was the leader of he was the leader of Iran.
Well, you yourself said that after the Islamic Revolution, the Ayatollah took. Is my microphone better now?
Yeah, it's good.
Okay, yeah, great. It's a different browser. It helps a lot. StreamYard being in the browser is a pain in the ass. Anyway, what am I saying? Is you yourself said that the Islamic Revolution led to the Ayatollah taking control of Iran. The real problem with Iran is that it's being run by an Islamist regime. What Grid was trying to point out is that the United States used the CIA to influence elections leadership in Iran previously, and that's untoward.
They assassinated the president of Iran.
Sure. It's something we do all over the world. It's not good.
I'm ready to do it again.
We stir the pot and fucking you're right. They're pushing for regime change, and that's going to take boots on the ground. This is why I'm opposed to it. Now I don't want Iran to have a fucking nuclear weapon. It's definitely not good. But I still haven't seen the evidence that brought on this attack or changed the situation in any way from before, where it was a bit of a stalemate. One of the articles I just posted in the back was syndicated by MSN, shows the IAEA, the International Atomic Energy Agency that we mostly support, that does our bidding for us for the most part, and most of Europe really agrees with. Is saying that Iran was developing nuclear or weapons-grade plutonium. We've already discussed why this is a problem in a lot of ways, because they could sell it to other people. They could eventually develop a nuclear weapon, and they've been very outspoken about destroying the Western fucking world. It's not cool. And we've already been over this. Brian, is that they don't follow their agreements, and it's been historically proven true several times, time again.
So, EOD, what's your position? Like, what do you think about the strikes? What do you think about what's happening?
I want to see the evidence that changed the situation. I haven't seen it yet. If they have something that's compelling, that might convince me that this was necessary. If not, then we're just getting engaged in another foreign war. And there's a lot of theories as to why that Trump might have kowtowed on that, but all of that's just tinfoil hat conspiracy shit.
Well, his ego. He just goes wherever his ego takes him. Let's just be real here.
Well, one of the things that I think might be happening, is that the neocons in the Senate are holding up his legislation. There are 4 bills
that are getting why did you vote for Trump? Did you vote for Trump?
That's not relevant to what I'm talking about.
I'm asking. It's a simple question. No, real quick. Did you vote for Trump?
I'll answer it.
Okay, yeah, okay. You did. And it's obvious when someone votes for Trump.
When I finish what I'm talking about.
It's obvious when someone votes for Trump because they find a way to absolve him of any type of responsibility.
If you give us this war,
they absolve themselves of any type of responsibility.
If you give us this war on Iran.
You asked him a question. Let EOD answer the question.
I didn't ask him. I asked him if he voted for Trump. That's the only question I asked him.
Yeah, you asked him a question.
I'm trying to make a point.
And he's yapping about some other stuff.
If I can get to my point, I'll answer your question.
I'm just tired of Trump supporters always finding a way to scurry out of finding the responsibility for what Trump did.
They don't know how to fucking wait.
That's fine. Trump, you should vote for me. Trump does it all the time, so you should be willing to vote for me.
Cope harder, you piece of shit.
Y'all vote for someone that does this and then complain when it happens.
Here's the situation. Okay, you got 4 neocons. You got 4 bills.
Nobody can hear anything.
Yeah.
No, there's no talking over me. Don't even start. One at a time. Keep it together. Let's be adults.
if I can finish what I was trying to say. He's got 4 bills held up in the Senate right now. The neocons come to him and say, give us this war in Iran, and we'll start cooperating and give you the bills. That's one way to explain why Trump would suddenly fucking flip on this. He promised us no new wars. That was fucking insane that he's doing this now. It confuses the piss out of me. But like I say, if they got compelling evidence, I might be convinced that it was necessary. Yes, I did, in fact, vote for Trump, independent. All right, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, it's just weird. Every single time I got to hear Trump voters, oh, I don't know why he would do this, as if he doesn't have a history of being a con man. It's like dealing with retards, respectfully. Like, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but it really is. He is a known con man. He is a known con man. You're a grown ass man, and you're like, I don't know why he would flip on this. He's a fucking con man. He's been a con man for decades, and you guys are confused about how he started to con you and how you fell for a con from a con man that's been documented a con man for decades.
No, I love.
And then
this.
you find and then instead of you want to talk or you want to let me talk because you just complained when I did it to him.
I thought you were.
All right, so that's great. I know I'm not done talking. I'll let you know. You complain about me doing, then you do it. It's all good. So
no, I didn't.
I am kind of an asshole. I am kind of an asshole. At the end of the day, you vote for Trump, and you never hold him to a standard. You always find a way to let him weasel out of being responsible for what he does. Oh, well, I think he probably did it because, you know, these neocons, they're the real problem. They're doing it in the Senate. It's never, yes, exactly. It's always going, yes, thank you for proving my point.
Why would he campaign on it
if he wasn't gonna hold it? Do you want to talk? It's always finding a way to weasel him out of responsibility. And you're proving the point. You immediately, instead of just going, you know what? It's because he's a con man. It's because he's always flip-flopping. It's because of X, Y, and Z.
Because I didn't really agree with you. I'm wrong.
You find a way. No, it's because you always Trump supporters always find a way to blame other people. No, you don't have to agree with me. You don't have to agree with me. You don't have to agree with me. I think it was a big ego thing. I think that's what it was. That's fine. But you don't have to always, every single time we try to hold Trump accountable, you don't have to find ways to weasel him out of that responsibility. He has an agency of his own. You don't have to find ways. Yes, because you keep on interrupting me as I'm on my fucking point.
No, who's doing that right here? Who's doing that right here?
Doing which part?
That right here. The thing that you just said, weaseling Trump out of accountability. Who are you accusing?
He was blaming neocons. He was blaming neocons for strong arming Trump.
Yes.
No, he did.
Yes, he did. Oh, look, it's like they don't.
Can you see the neocons in the room? Can you point them out?
I'm not,
dude. You weren't following, but
I'm not trying to absolve Trump of blame. I'm saying that maybe this is one way they have leverage over him in the first place. I'm not absolving him of blame. It disappoints me.
You understand how politics work, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's so funny because Trump supporters were always like, "Oh, Trump is different. He's not like these other politicians. He's gonna not do these things that these other politicians do." And then he gets into office and he does these things that politicians do. And now all of a sudden it's, "Hey, you don't know how politics work."
His first term around, he fulfilled most of his campaign promises.
His first term around, almost every single one.
He shouldn't have been flip-flopping.
That's fucking every thing that Trump did during his first term was not his. It was Republican conservative left.
Understand your position.
So who in the room right now was doing the thing that you said? Great, if I may have a moment.
Grumple.
We went over this, Grumple.
Give me a second.
I didn't get an answer from him.
What? So I got to ask.
Who in the room is the neocons that you're talking about? Great, if I may have a moment with him because he didn't answer.
Are you talking to me?
Yes, I'm talking to you.
What's your question?
You were making vast, wide accusations. Who in the room is doing the thing that you're saying right now?
He just said who he was. EOD.
Yeah, that's what they're accusing me of.
Everything that you just said, you were accusing EOD at that time. Is that?
Was anybody else talking that I could have been accusing? I don't know. What am I accusing? And I'll let you know if it's only EOD or if it's a wider
wild
thing.
accusations and didn't have a target.
You're not following the organization. I mean, the conversation.
I have been. No, I have been.
I said the neocons have the leverage on Trump, and I'm disappointed in that. I'm not trying to absolve Trump of his fucking responsibility in the matter. He should have had more of a spine. He should have held more to his campaign promises.
But why can't it just be that he wanted to do it himself? Why does it have to be neocons or forcing him?
Because he's not a fucking comic book villain, you jackass. Okay, it's politics. This is why we're asking whether or not you understand what politics are. Grid, what are you trying to say?
Yeah, man. So this is interesting because
your mic is cut out.
Muted. Or cut it out. One of the two.
Do you agree or disagree with the strike?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you agree?
Oh,
or
I
disagree?
agree with it.
You agree with it?
Yeah.
Okay. So what the fuck is your problem with Trump doing it? It's just because you question his motives?
I never said it. I never said there
give
was
a fuck less about Trump's motives.
I never
I
questioned
don't care.
the
Matter of
reason he
fact,
did it.
I don't
I'm
remember him
questioning
saying,
him.
I won't bomb Iran. As a matter of fact, I don't ever remember him saying no new wars this campaign. He said he's going to do his best to keep us out of the Middle East, then clean up the mess that Biden left us with. That's what he said. He never. Now point to me, because you made a very loud amount of protest that Trump said something, and now everyone's backing, you're doubling down on it, or whatever the fuck what your point was. I want to know. He never said this, Trump. He never said this campaign, no new wars. He said he was going to try and keep us out of as much of the Middle East as we could. He never said
this is a quote. This is a quote from his inauguration speech.
You agree?
Thank you.
You agree?
Pull that quote.
Yeah, I'm going to quote you from his inauguration speech. It says, "We will measure our success not only by the battles we win, but also by the wars that we end." I'm sorry, Greg. Can I read this or not?
Yes, to the point.
You don't want to hear it, do you?
You can't see that it's the right motherfucking.
You don't want to hear this line from his inauguration speech where he talks about new wars, right?
And I don't give a fuck because you're an idiot. I've already labeled you as an idiot. Your opinion
Ryan, you were
is
interrupting. You didn't let him finish.
I don't care.
But
I don't care. I will. Okay. So it says we will measure our success not only by the battles we win.
Because he's still talking.
If everyone talks, then no one's going to hear it. So we will measure our success not only by the battles we win.
And I will continue to talk until I am fucking done. So
we will measure our success not only by the battles we win, but also by the wars that we end. And perhaps most importantly, the wars we never get into.
I'm about to let you fucking speak, I want to understand why you agree with the bombing, but you disagree that Trump is the one who ordered it. Please, in small words that Ryan can understand, please explain it to us.
Did you ask me why? You're asking me why I disagree or why I agree with the strike, but I think that Trump didn't order it?
No. Why you think that Trump was wrong for ordering it? Why you're grilling EOD down there for bullshit? I want to understand this. Use small words. We have Ryan the coder here.
Yeah, I got you.
Computer guys read small words.
I think that maybe what I was saying is maybe I wasn't clear or whatnot. But to be clear,
clear a minute ago.
Yeah, and I'm about to be even more clear for people like you.
Please do.
Yeah.
What do you mean people like him?
I'm
No,
not
it's
grilling
me. For me. Use small words from people like me.
Yeah. Well, you guys are, Ken. So it's not.
I eat crayons. What do you do?
I sit in a chair. EOD, is your name EOD because explosive ordnance or?
No.
Oh, okay. But I was grilling him because he's not placing the agency on Trump. He's not saying Trump did this because Trump wanted to. It's, oh, well, I think he's being strong-armed by the neocons, or that's my theory, or that is a theory. And so it's always, Trump didn't do this because that's just who he is. It's, Trump did this because someone else.
Who he is. I think it is who he is.
Okay, that's great. But I wasn't talking to you when I was saying it, was I? No, I wasn't. So you wanted me to answer the question. Okay, that's great. So
let him go.
My thing wasn't that Trump did it, or that I don't agree with Trump and I do agree with Trump, but the motives, blah, blah, blah. I agree that he did it. And I agree that I think that he wanted to do it. It's not that neocons strong-armed him into doing it. My issue is that Trump voters, when he does something that they don't like or they don't think that he was going to do, they find a way to blame someone else. And that is what EOD is doing.
That's not what I'm doing. Again,
okay. Everybody except Trump voters understand that's what you guys do.
If I could defend myself, you're telling me what I'm doing. I'll tell you what I'm doing. Okay. I'm
disappointed.
I'm disappointed in Trump for not having more of a spine and not upholding his campaign promises. That's what I'm saying. And there's motivation as to why that might be the case, and that involves the political climate in the United States and the fact that the neocons basically run the fucking Senate. That's what I'm trying to fucking say to you.
But yet when you talk about Obama or Biden,
you've labeled me a Trump sycophant.
You got your time. Let EOD answer you.
You've labeled me a Trump sycophant without even realizing.
Answer you.
Without even realizing that I absolutely criticize this move from Trump. I don't like it in one little bit. I did not serve as explosive ordnance disposal. I served as a medic in the Air Force. I do have friends that have deployed. I have family that deployed, that spent time over in the sandbox. I don't want that to happen again. That's the last fucking thing I want to see happen. And I see it happening in more ways than one based on this current situation and all of the inflammation that's occurred. I condemn Trump for doing it. But there's got to be a reason that he would go back on his campaign promises when he was so consistent in fulfilling those in the first term.
The reason I asked about the EOD thing, not because I was criticizing what your motives might be, was because he said he hates crayons. I said I sit in a chair, and then you kind of chuckled at it. So I thought you got the chair force thing, because I took it to mean that he was a Marine or something. But whatever. Anyway.
Oh no, I am.
Yeah, so that's why I said I sit in a chair. But
I got you. Well, UA Air Force, best force.
Cool.
Yeah, no, EOD's chair force. I'm in the cult.
I just
really.
I'm just really tired of hearing people anytime that he gets criticized, and it doesn't necessarily have to be Trump. It can be Bernie Sanders or AOC because she's the flavor now. You know, it's just always a reason that something didn't happen, and it's not because of them. It's not because you were bamboozled by this person. It's because someone else exterior to them or external to them rather forced them or forced their hand or whatever. And I just dislike that. I think it's a cult thing. Not saying that you are in that cult, but I think that a lot of maggots are in a cult. MAGA is a cult in my opinion, and I think the ones that really support him like that are culties.
I've criticized
do you think it's beneficial to call them maggots?
I'm not saying it's you. I don't give a fuck whether
a random
it's
independent. Do you think it's beneficial to call them maggots in conversation?
I heard the question.
Do you think it's beneficial to call them maggots in conversation?
I answered. I said I don't give a fuck whether it's beneficial or not, because I wasn't calling them. I wasn't calling them that during the first term because it wasn't that big a deal. Oh, that was the other thing. You brought up the first term. Again, the first term was mostly a conservative agenda, and it was done by conservatives. You know, all these quote unquote establishment people that people like to bitch. Oh, well, Trump, he was being controlled by these establishment people. That's why his first term was so good.
Yeah, I guess
was because it was actual conservative. It was actual conservative ideals with integrity in place.
That's
this
not
term,
true.
you don't.
The Republican Party put up 15 candidates to try to stop Trump from winning the ticket, and they failed. That's what ended up fucking happening. Okay.
We're not talking about. I'm talking about the.
You're talking about the establishment ran the fucking show. They didn't. Trump didn't know what the fuck it was doing.
I'm not talking about establishment members. I'm saying conservatives and people with integrity.
He ended up pulling people out of his.
For example,
General Mattis was a piece of shit in the end of the fucking day, wasn't he?
Okay, you're fucking wild. Anyway, so like I said, these people.
He was not.
Yeah, you're fucking wild to say that shit about General Mattis. But like I said, these people that were his cabinet members were actual conservatives, lifelong Republicans, lifelong conservatives with integrity and with honor. And this term, we don't have that.
John Bolton didn't have any fucking honor, dude. Okay,
that's why. Who didn't have honor?
John fucking Bolton didn't have any fucking honor. Okay,
that wasn't his
weirdo who was Joint Chiefs of Staff didn't have any fucking honor. The people who were hiding military operations, military intel from Trump didn't have any fucking honor. I don't know what the fuck you're getting at.
Okay,
but so, the whole cabinet was filled with all kinds of nefarious people.
Yes, and it was filled with all types of these quote unquote nefarious people, and yet shit got done in his first term, and it wasn't because of him. It was because of those quote unquote nefarious people.
No, it wasn't because of the quote-unquote nefarious people.
It's funny. You remove them from the equation, and the shit that you're talking about that didn't happen in the first term, that's happening in the second term, is now happening. So you have in the first term those nefarious people, and these things not happening. The second term, you don't have those quote-unquote nefarious people, and the shit that you're bitching about is happening. I wonder what the common denominator is. You're speaking in complete
generalities right now. There's nothing to support what you're talking about. I'm trying to point out individuals within Trump's first campaign that were no good, and these people actually actively worked against Trump's interests and against the things that Trump was trying to accomplish, such as building the fucking wall. How many people stood against Trump and blocked him at every fucking turn to build that fucking wall? That is not the right thing to do at all. What's the situation we're at right now? There's 20 million fucking illegal immigrants. It's spread throughout our country. Man.
So the bullshit 20 million number, but sure, let's take the 20 million number or whatever. The issue was that you guys complain about was Biden, just the asylum process and all these other things, letting people in. Basically, I agreed with Trump staying in Mexico. Can I finish? I agree with Trump staying in Mexico. No, I'm talking about what you just talked about immigration, so I'm talking about immigration in the wall.
That was one example of things that Trump was blocked on. That's what I'm getting at. And now you want to dive into a deep dive fucking address on immigration. What we're talking about is Iran and the hostilities with fucking Iran.
No, I've been talking about Iran.
The consistency of Trump fulfilling campaign promises. That's what I'm getting at.
You brought up the wall and stuff.
I brought up the things where people block Trump from fulfilling his campaign promises, where he's supposed to be fulfilling his campaign promises. In this term, he's not doing it. That's a bad thing. That's not cool. And it's not because of the people he's surrounding himself with. I don't think that's true at all. It's because of the people that he's trying to find ways to do
who has he surrounded himself by that you think would tell him no?
Well, Pete Hegseth for one. You just called him.
You're fucking with me right now. You're fucking with me.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, ain't no fucking way you just said that goofy shit. You think Pete Hegseth would tell him no?
Tell him no about?
Yeah. Does anybody else on this panel agree with that?
I think it's
that the the 04 Fox News analyst would tell the president no. He was literally put in that position.
He's also a person who won a Purple
man.
Heart. He's also a person with combat experience.
He was put in that position literally because he is a yes man.
A random independent, or is that how you like to be referred to as? Just so I know.
That's cool. Independent. I mean, whatever. Like, it's easy.
Okay, independent.
It don't matter.
I think a karaoke stream would be more amenable to chat than what you're doing right now.
I think Random Independent's cooking. I just searched up his channel. I subbed up. Like, I like this guy. I think.
I appreciate it. I don't really post anything.
Ryan, Ryan, I want to have you on one of my karaoke streams. I don't do.
Oh, you're being serious? What's a karaoke stream?
Yeah.
Oh, like a literal karaoke.
Yeah, like actual.
If you like my voice,
I like to do semi-trump life karaoke bars.
I mean, it's a good time.
Yeah, it's a safe space. You can say I like my voice, man. Oh, okay.
I mean, okay.
You're a Marine.
No, I was saying.
Let's move to final thoughts, guys. I gotta shut it down.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you,
Miss Michelle. Thank you for allowing everything to happen as long as you did. I know you were. I know it was an extended thing.
Raid over, and we'll continue this on my channel. I can yell at people for a little while longer.
I don't know how to raid,
but
yeah, I'm
have
not going
access
live.
to the YouTube channel to do that.
Go to Grid.
Let's see.
Well, I'm live. You could raid me. I'm smaller than Grid is.
Let me. You guys can talk for 5 more minutes.
Oh wait,
I'll
no.
back down.
I mean, I am.
Go ahead, go through your final thoughts, and I'll figure it out. All right.
Grid is better for the StreamYard.
No, let's go around.
I lied. I'm actually literally live right now, but I'm not like.
You're half asleep right now, brother. You need to get some rest.
No, I'm not. I'm not at all. Why does everybody keep saying that? No, I'm not.
You look
like you were like falling asleep earlier.
You look very relaxed.
Well, thank you.
Oh my goodness.
I have to go another 10 hours.
Let me ask. What does everyone think about just because Iran's Iran? But what does everybody think about the church attempted shooting in?
I read about that.
Saw a headline about that.
That's pretty fucked up.
I don't know what. I know he got shot and killed.
You know what
actually
happened?
injure anybody?
It's an awesome story. So what happens is this guy, whose mom was a member of the church, and she attended several times over the year. His elderly mother. This guy apparently has some mental problems. For some reason, we're not 100% aware of yet. Maybe he left. Maybe there's some sort of manifesto or something we haven't that's not been made super public yet. I've heard rumblings that it exists. I just haven't seen it. But apparently, he got in his truck dressed in camouflage and a tactical vest. Not really sure what that is. Haven't seen it yet. Yeah, right.
That could be a lot of things.
But I have the same. Like, what does that really
You had
mean?
an AR-15 allegedly, and
AR-15 and a pistol.
be a fishing vest.
handgun.
Yeah, it could have been a fishing vest.
And he
yeah.
tried to shoot up the Vacation Bible School.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's on Sunday. So Vacation Bible School is through the week. So
the article.
Yeah, they wouldn't have been there on Sunday. That would have been like normal Sunday.
That would have been like the starting of
yeah,
Sunday school.
the press is getting all this wrong.
All right.
So there's normal Sunday service. He comes screaming up in his truck, jumps out, gun out, starts popping shots off. There's not even anybody out there. And one of the other churchgoers hits him with his truck, drives his F-150 right into him, just
runs him right the fuck over. That's hilarious.
runs him right the fuck over. And the guy gets up and still shooting. And two of the church members who act as security put his ass down. And
they opened fire.
One of the
they
church
had weapons. They opened fire.
took around in the leg. He's fine, but
it's good.
it's the way it should.
That was good. It's good shooting. Way to handle business.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, the other ironic thing about it is it happened at a community that's just outside Dearborn, Michigan, which happens to be the Muslim capital of the United States. So
yeah.
You know what's crazy? The church that it happened at Cross Point. I coached at a private Christian school called Cross Point in Washington, And they had a shooting or an attempt to shooting years ago before I got there. What's up with this Cross Point getting shot at, motherfucker? That's not called crosshairs, church. In the crosshairs.
Well,
Yeah.
maybe
It's,
that's what they're.
This
getting
community's
confused
right
about.
outside of Detroit. I mean, it's like Detroit adjacent.
I thought it was Dearborn adjacent.
So just for the record, EOD, I know because you mentioned it's like it's near Dearborn or whatever, and they're a Muslim majority place. This guy was, from what I read, this guy's confirmed to be a 31-year-old white male. So
He is.
probably not a Muslim, right?
Oh,
No,
well,
it
I mean,
not
George
necessarily.
Zimmerman is a white Hispanic. Just, you know,
Probably
white
not a
is
Muslim.
the relative.
Like, probably though. Like
No,
No,
probably not a
no.
Muslim.
Okay, here, Ryan. I'm gonna tell you the shortcoming of your analysis right here. Okay, it's that police descriptions generally do not actually
Unless they're
describe
lying.
race accurately, unless it's a white person or a black person, right? It's
Oh,
just
that's what I
like
said.
George.
Wasn't
Yeah.
Wayne?
More words.
So, I just
So
want to
they're
make sure
just
it's very
covering.
clear.
They're covering for him being an Islamist extremist, right?
They're not
I don't-
covering for it. They just don't want to specify.
Detroit
Yeah, I'm
keeps
sure.
sticking in my
Okay,
mind.
Yoda.
Okay.
But
Okay,
the,
so
All right,
they
guys.
said-
So you know what? Check this out. Hold on. I'm gonna redirect everybody over to Grid Stream because I do got an interview I got to do, recorded interview in about a little bit. But Brian, you're supposed to come back over so I can do a one-on-one with you.
Yeah, I followed you on X. Hit me up on there. Yeah, we can schedule.
All right, cool. All right, guys. You know what? Go hang out with my friend Grid One. I got to hang out with him this past weekend. He's a cool
That's
dude.
true.
Cool dude. You know, we had some food. We had some. Well, he had soda. I had a bucket bucket of alcohol. It was pretty wild. It was good. See, then there's no crazy videos that Grid has of me. I made sure I deleted them all before he even left the area.
I didn't actually even take out my phone to take videos. Glenn had a camera the whole time. The actual video, which hopefully I'll get to see it soon.
Yeah,
should be good.
it's actually getting edited now. She just messaged me about it.
Okay.
So we should probably get it by the end of the week, if anything.
The interesting thing is that so that Aaron Reed dude is massive.
So real quick, before you even finish that. So after everybody left, right? I left. I go get something to eat, right? And I end up going to this tiki bar across from the hotel.
Mhm.
There's Aaron Reed with this chick, and then him and I are chatting it up till like 2:30 in the morning. Coolest dude ever. We're just like sitting there. He's drinking. I'm drinking water by this time because I had one drink. That was enough for me. And like
After the bucket you had at the
after the fucking bucket, I had one other drink, and then, I'm just sitting there chilling. We're just chatting it up. Got him agreeing to come on the pod, so I'm gonna have Aaron Reed come on the pod, and we are going to do like a fitness
By
challenge.
on the
with Aaron
pod, you
Reed.
mean on your show? Like
Yes,
on the podcast?
yes, on my show. And if you guys don't know who
Yeah,
Aaron
some
Reed
people
is,
don't know
he
that,
played
that
the.
means I'm one that doesn't know that. I just
Okay,
explained
okay,
that.
Grump, shut
Yeah,
up.
Sorry.
Grump, shut up. Aaron
You're
Reed
fine.
is the guy that plays the Juggernaut in the movie Deadpool. So this guy is literally 6'7", 315 pounds, 315 pounds.
Wait, he's the soccer hooligan from the European Vacation movie?
Grump, let me finish. He's
He's a
300
soccer hooligan. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Continue.
He's 6'7", 315 pounds, 4% body fat. The dude is okay, maybe not 4. He's about like 5-6% body fat. Dude is massive and shredded.
He's huge. That was a big dude.
My neck is hurting just from looking up at him. I thought I was tall. But
and that got fun. That got fun a lot.
That wasn't even me. That was Michelle. She did that.
I know it was. That's Michelle's favorite clip.
That is her favorite clip.
Mind if I say one thing before we
All right.
close out?
Yeah, go ahead. Say one more
Real
thing.
quick.
But yeah, go ahead.
It's super short. Yeah, it's just this quote I found. This crazy quote. It says, "We will measure our success not only by the battles we win, but also by the wars that we end, and perhaps most importantly, the wars that we never get into." That was some guy named Donald J. Trump. Never heard of him, but yeah, spurred by reading a Donald Trump quote. Okay.
No, you just insist on going back to something that
Peace
we
out,
left
guys.
a while ago. But
All right, guys. Well, you know
it's
what?
always
Go
good to
over
know.
to Grids. Go over to Grids.
Yeah,
Go continue
I'll
the
throw
party
up-
there.
Yeah, we can continue paneling for a little while.
What's
I
the
don't know
new
how to
link?
get there.
an hour. Well, he's just.
Greg, you want to throw the link in the private chat real quick?
Yeah. Let me do that right now.
Link.
I'll stay on it until you do
Just
that.
get my we'll do a smooth.
You guys, I got some video Grid. All right, Grid in his natural habitat of in person, and here, let me just try to play it real quick.
If this wasn't in the manner of Top Gear, I'm going to be very disappointed.
All I gotta say is Grid is Grid. Don't. What you see right now on the screen is what you get in real life. All right.
Oh no! Please continue. I'm just letting Grid because he knows what I'm talking about.
Let me tell you what happened. I was trying to
I'm only talking to Grid.
mind my own business. I was minding my own business, and this is what happened, you guys. I'll just show you. And you love the hat. I know you do. Shut up.
Son of a bitch from Tennessee just showed up, sat at my table, and just started talking some shit. And I was like, "What is your country ass doing out here?" So I'm out here in Florida. I'm doing a Florida thing, and this son of a bitch from Tennessee just showed up, sat at my table, and just started.
I like the vaudeville hat. You look like you're gonna perform for us on stage.
I was about to, but then I didn't get paid enough, so I said I'm not gonna do it.
The straw boater
like
did.
To be
honest,
Glenn, I like how. Glenn, I really like how you have a thumbnail with the 92 FS, just like where you're getting like aggressive with it, just right on the thing, and you can't do them in live stream, so it's got to be a pre-recorded thing, right?
Yeah,
like an M9, essentially.
Yeah,
I've read a 92 FS.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Nerd.
All right, guys. Love, peace, greasy chicken. Go to Grids.
Cheers, y'all. Thanks for having us, Glenn.